like I said, back in the day, it was like taboo. Like even my first tattoo that I got was it was an anime piece, but I didn't want it to do a Dragon Ball piece, even though how bad I wanted a Dragon Ball piece, because I didn't want people to make fun of it. You know, so I got Afro Samurai tattooed on me, which is an anime. It's an Americanized anime and stuff that I knew the people that would see it, they'll be like, oh, cool, that's dope. What is it? And then I'll show them and I'll be like, oh, it's just a samurai. But people that knew be like, oh shit, that's Afro Samurai. I'm like, hell yeah. And that's how we connect, you know? Yeah. But it was because I didn't want to do a mainstream, like people to make fun of me kind of thing. But nowadays, it's so accepted that now everybody wants to get what they loved from their childhood. And people always ask us, oh, and some people will say to them, more than likely, that, aren't you going to outgrow it? It was like, well, I've been watching anime since I was 5. I don't think this is going away from me, you know?
And we're back with another episode of the IQ Project. My name is Josh. I'm right here with my co-host Ricky Tat.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome back.
So today we got an interesting podcast for you guys. We got some amazing guests right here from the IE. I'll let Ricky introduce them.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, for sure. We got Alan and Paola. They're co-owners of their shop. What's your shop name, really quick?
King's Inc.
King's Inc. Right. We got referred to you guys by Steve from Golden Triangle. He said, "Yo, I mean, he was here previous and he told us an awesome story. And then he's like, dude, you guys got to interview these guys. You know, they're killing it." I went to your guys' page. I was like, what? A shop just about anime? And then from when you tell me you guys are the only anime shop that started, we're the first, right?
The first anime shop in the IE. Yeah.
So it's right there is going to be an amazing story. I definitely want to hear about, you know, how the interaction is between a couple in the shop and, you know, how it is even in an anime shop. We're going to hear all those stories today and drop in a little business, drop in a little motivation. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a great podcast. And go ahead and start it off, brother.
So my name's Alan Dominguez, known as Mr. Pinks XX on Instagram.
Mr. Pinks.
My name is Paola Pinks. I took his last name. But also Dominguez as well.
Cool, nice. Man. Married, tattoo shop owners.
Yeah.
That's dope.
There's always clashing, but we have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm pretty sure. I'm just like thinking because my wife comes in here. You know, my wife has her gym down here. So they get to see a lot of our interactions. They know when we're like happy. They know when we're like clashing.
They know when to stay away.
Yeah. So I'm imagining, and you guys are there like all the time.
They call us mom and dad at the shop.
Oh, really? Yeah. We actually sit real separate away from each other. So one corner I'm at, and then she's in the other corner.
Yeah.
You know, just to like not clash as much. You know?
That's what we did.
Yeah.
I'm over there on that corner. He's on this corner.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah, because we clash and
like
we just keep away. You know, break the tension. How long you guys had that shop?
We've been doing it for 2 years right now. It's gonna be 2 years.
What city?
Ontario, California.
Ontario.
Not Canada.
Yeah, we always have to say not Canada because they always think it's Canada.
I mean, anime tattoos right now are really sought off after, right?
Yeah, right now, like, it's been popping off for, I would say, like, for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Has been crazy. But, like, when I first started off, it's been 6 years, 7 years now that I've been doing pure anime, you know, and I've been booked out 10 months now, currently 8 months. Currently.
Damn, bro.
8 months. But I've been seeing the growth of like how many anime artists there is now and stuff like that. It's ridiculous, you know. It's super cool to see because I always tell people all the time is that it's just us nerds finally being able to show off what we've always loved. And I always call the tattoo guys we're just the cool tattoo nerds, you know?
Yeah, because back in the day, anime, you'd get made fun of it.
Yeah. You would hide it.
Yeah.
And,
really?
Yeah.
It wasn't accepted, you know? Like, you would see a lot of people, like, judge you for being an anime fan,
shit, for real?
You know?
That's what I was going to ask you right now. I was like, you said you were that big buff guy in high school, right?
Yeah.
So were you, like, also nerdy, or?
Yeah, I was always...
She had the glasses, too?
A little bit. Well... Yeah, it's just like I was in athlete in high school and stuff like that, and so I did portray that a lot, you know. And sometimes I did feel like I had to hide some of my nerdiness.
Yeah.
But it's hard to hide something when you love it so much, you know. Like you get so passionate towards what you love, and that was anime for me.
And now it's your life.
Yeah, it's my life. I've been drawing anime since I was a little kid. Like 5 years old, I believe it was my first was me watching anime for the first time. 5, 6, 7 years old. And like I was saying earlier, it's like, my parents hated it. My parents hated the fact that I would watch anime because they thought they're like, my mom's Christian, so she thought that they were demoniados.
Demoniados. You saw the little yellow Pokemon
Pikachu
thing.
and
Like,
you
¿Quién es
remember
Pikachu?
No.
That's
You
all I
remember
know,
that
bro.
day?
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
When
back
Dragon
in the
Ball
day.
Z turned into fire or to that.
They saw because there's a character in Dragon Ball. His name is Mr. Satan.
Oh, okay.
And they would say it in Spanish. And that's how I would see it in Spanish and stuff.
So they'll be like,
He was
Mr.
like,
Satan?
what? She heard that. She was like, Mr. Satan, what? Like, no. So she hated me doing drawing anime and stuff. And she would always tell me to stop drawing it. And she'll tell me, oh, draw those beautiful pictures that you do.
Yeah.
Because I draw portraits and all that
Virgin
stuff
Marys,
too.
Yeah.
She loved
Diositos, and all that.
She
It
loved
would be
all
like,
that.
oh, qué bonito, and then anime, ¿qué es eso? So then
Yeah. But she grew into it.
Yeah.
Like she it took a very, very, very long time for my parents to actually accept it. But they're now so proud of what I do and so proud of where I am at, you know, because in the beginning, like I said, they would say that the whole demoniado thing. And then the first time I was going to open my tattoo shop, my mom calls me up and I was not there yet. My contractor opened up for them. And she was like, she calls me up all excited saying like, guess where I'm at? I was like, where? Like, I'm at your tattoo shop.
Oh.
And she like got so happy. And so
That's dope.
yeah, it's an experience. It's freaking dope.
So with anime, do they still do that pause where they talk like that and then the voice comes out? Because that's all. I don't know too much about anime now. Or is there now like the voice is actually
voice matches.
Okay,
Like voice
yeah,
right
because
now,
that's pardon my ignorance on that, but I remember anime back in the day was like there was like this whole like. And then the
Yeah.
voice would come out, so now it's all matching, right?
Yeah, it matches real well and stuff.
That's
Of
cool.
course, like a lot of people have their preferences from liking the sub or dub, and that's the big debate in the anime community. Like,
What does that mean?
Subtitled,
Oh,
like with
yeah.
Japanese voice actors,
it.
or
You guys have the patience to read those. 'Cause, like I said, when I first started watching Death Note, it was with those
the
Subtitles?
Yeah, I was like, dude, is there an English version? I'm like,
You know what? I'm excited. My brother's probably gonna watch this because my brother's 25 and he's into anime. He has a Camaro and then he has stickers of anime characters. I couldn't tell you who they are.
Yeah.
But he has stickers on the outside of his Camaro. I'm like, why'd you put those fucking little stickers on this badass
It's more
Super
common
Sport?
now. Like
Yeah.
when you're driving, you see them everywhere.
I've seen people fucking wrap their whole cars in there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
we've
whole
seen that all
culture,
the time.
right?
Too?
Nah,
Nah,
no,
not
but
yet.
It's only because she tells me it's a burn that everybody knows
Oh, like,
whose car is it and
Yeah.
stuff. But if it was up to me, anime though.
Burn it, bro. Bro, I put an iconic sticker on my truck and now everybody knows as soon as they see the white truck, hey, I saw your white truck passing the fucking baseline over there. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Say what's up to me.
I would say that's like advertisement, you know?
Yeah.
Tax write-off.
I
That's
didn't do
right.
it because
Yeah.
I drive far. I was like, I don't want to cut someone off and then they're fucking following me. And they
There
know
you
where I
go.
work.
Exactly.
Well, just don't cut nobody off. Fool. Be respectful.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
fuck.
with my wife. Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Just be a proper driver. You don't have to be a dick. You
I'm the
know.
most
That's not being a dick,
worst
it's being late.
She's a violent driver. You know, she like really likes.
Like,
to,
I turn now.
Hey, that reminds me of one time I turned. One time I turned and I was listening to like corridos, right? So I was all hyped up. I was like, and then this car, he cut it in front of me, and I was like, fuck that. So I went around and I stepped on it on my truck because I was a muffler. Wow. And I passed him and it was like this old lady. And I was like, oh, I feel like a douche right now.
Yeah, see, that's a dick move right there.
But that's one. Hey, that's why I don't put corridos up high anymore. Just,
I have
you know?
limo tint for a reason. He scared me into watching this movie where it's like road rage, and I don't know if you guys seen it. It's called Unhinged or Hinged.
No.
Oh, so this guy actually follows the girl and like nearly kills her son for over a honk.
Really?
And I was
Over a
like,
honk.
I'm never doing that ever again. So now I got limo tint. So now I take out my fake guns and I'm like
She
under
goes,
the steering wheel.
She don't like somebody driving in first. Like,
So
That's
no one can
crazy.
see. So
So you guys are married. You own a tattoo shop. How did you guys How'd you guys meet?
So we met.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of this. I'm curious, you know.
So we met at the old tattoo shop that I used to work at, Killer Tattoos.
Killer Tattoos. That's where you started.
Yeah,
Killer
I was
tattoos.
actually getting my ex-boyfriend's initials tattooed on me.
Not,
So yes,
and
Yeah.
you cover. And
no,
you got
No.
what's funny about everything? I was actually not tattooing her. It was one of my homies, Noe Tattoos on Instagram. He was tattooing her, and actually before that, she actually went to the shop once before. I didn't actually engage with her that day.
Right.
Okay, she actually went to the back of the shop because that's where I was tattooing, and she looked at a tattoo and she said, "Oh, nice work." And I didn't even look up, and I just said, "Oh, thank you," you know. And then another day she comes in, and she was getting a bigger piece on her arm, and the homie once again he was tattooing her and stuff, and I actually go up to her and make fun of her because she was getting those initials because I was like, oh. Because I asked her, "Oh, do you have change for $1?" Because I was gonna try getting something from the vending machine and stuff. She was like, "You got change for $1?" And she was like, "No, I don't." But I told her, "But if I was Franco, I would have got a change for $1, huh?" Making fun of her tattoo and stuff. And she asks me all the time now and stuff to cover it. And I was like, nah.
I still have it to this
still
day.
have it?
She still has it
wanna
to this
cover
day. I
it.
tell her no. It can't
how
be
you guys
covered.
met?
Yeah, it can't be covered. I always tell her it means family first now.
The craziest thing is that we actually broke up the next day after me getting the initials tattooed.
See, that proves my point that getting someone else's name is a curse.
It is a curse.
You guys
huh?
believe in that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't believe in.
You don't?
I
Do you
do.
have your?
I think
wife?
You don't
I
have
don't have
tattoos?
tattoos.
Oh,
I don't have
oh,
tattoos.
interesting.
0. So
Judge them. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
judge me right now. Hey, I asked the other. You're judging me. I know you are. But I can see it in your eyes, bro. Come on.
Look at what I've always said about people that have less tattoos than their tattoo artists. They're just too busy to get tattooed.
Or
you
too
know?
scared.
And not
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably scared.
I
seen those
really
needles.
do.
I seen those pain what they're going through.
or you're saving yourself for the better tattoos that you can actually get in the future. Because I personally feel like if I would have got my tattoos now, dude, I have so many homies that do so many freaking amazing
Dope-ass work,
tattoos
yeah.
and stuff that I wish I would have saved myself for
You wish they could erase after 5 years and be like, let's do it again.
Do this shit all
I
over
think that's
again.
where I'm at. Like I waited till I was like 24 to get tattooed, and I was already tattooed since I was 18. But after that point, that's when I started realizing, okay, I started getting more into the industry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, these suck. Let me get
Yeah.
these. Yeah.
Well, I don't think people realize that back in the day, tattooing, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna go get like a butterfly tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't know like there's bigger world behind that butterfly tattoo.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like portraits, like these big artists, like
Well,
Like it could have been a beautiful. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it could have been a beautiful woman with butterflies,
Yeah.
aesthetic, composition, all that. Yeah,
I think that's one thing I tell my clients though too. Like once they come in and they want, I'm pretty sure you guys gotten this, or probably not because you do anime, but they want like that script just right here on the forum, right? I was like, you sure you want it there? Like, do you want something else later on in the future? Like, I sit down and talk to them like, what are your plans in the next 5 years? Do you plan on
Yeah.
getting a sleeve, or if not, let's just do it there and then we'll see what happens.
I don't think most of our clients understand that ink expands over time.
Yeah.
So I think that's like he taught me, you always want to be able to do something where you know it's going to be good for the long run, and it's not going to over time it's going to be like a blotch. And a lot of the times our clients get mad and they're like, oh well, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those clients that
Yeah.
I was like pretty naive and dumb, like really dumb
Same.
about it, because I have a list right here that you can't even read what it actually says now, because I was like, oh, well, I would just want to put so many people on my arm and stuff, and now you can't even read one of them.
Well,
you know?
I mean, that's a perfect example though. Like you tell that client, like, you see this right here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I tell them too, because this writing, it's all smearing together. I'm like, this is what happens is when you put writing too small
Exactly.
together.
The sun
Exactly.
does that a
Yeah.
lot. I feel like it's like worse.
Yeah,
than
right
the
now
sun.
with me, I always tell them like, what are your plans about, like how you said, like, what are your plans about doing all your tattoos and stuff? What are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna want this one tattoo, which it'll be cool if we just do that one tattoo if you want, but I can guarantee you that I can design something that's gonna flow, that's gonna go with your whole arm later on in life. You know, you don't have to. That's how I always approach like tattoos and stuff now, is that I want to focus on not only the tattoo that I'm doing, but the future tattoos. that
What you're talking
eventually-
about right there is education. You know, we're educating them that, you know what, you have this idea, but we're the ones with the experience here, and you're probably gonna regret just putting it right in the middle.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
'Cause
like
90%
wasting
of the time,
space.
90% of the time,
So-
it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
it's
lot
part
of
of
the-
education.
Yeah, a lot of the times with her clients, because her clients right now currently are like the first timers.
It's very like scary because I'm 9 months into my tattooing career, and when I see people, I'm like, "Are you sure you want to get tattooed by me? Like, are you sure you don't want to go to anybody else at the shop? Like, it's scary." And then you have those clients that get tattooed by the rest of the guys at the shop, and then you're tattooing right next to that tattoo, and it's like, "Why are you here?"
Very
like it's
intimidating,
very
huh?
That big,
yeah. It feels very like scary, but at the same time, it's very motivational because it's like, okay, like
Let's
they're
step it
choosing
up.
me, yeah, and we got to do better.
And it's a good thing that she has us right there at the shop too, because a lot of the times with her clients, because like I said, they're first timers, so they don't really know how it should be. So we advise her. She always comes to me and says, like, what do you think about the placement? And I'm always telling her, like, oh, you should move it up, move it down, because for the future, you could do something else with it, you know? Because they just want to put it right in the middle, like you said, right in the middle of like prime real estate that we can do some amazing work on, you know? So instead of doing it right in the middle, I always try to convince them, like, hey, let's put it a little lower, even though it's not my client, but I want her to have a longer run with them.
Yeah.
Instead of like just that one tattoo, we're already thinking about like, we're going to fill you up.
Well, yeah, it's like, I think as an artist,
So bad.
as an artist,
Pause.
oh god, as an artist, I think it's smart to do that though.
Well, now we know where this is going.
Sorry.
I'm thinking about that.
I just like my mind's constant. Like the guys are always making fun of me because I'm like my mind's always
Yeah,
like,
you're always.
Yeah.
She's a
One.
dirty.
but
So, like I was saying, as an artist, I think it's smart to do that though, because you're thinking 2-3 steps ahead, which is smart. It's called job security.
Yeah.
First of all, right? Second of all, you're being a good human person, helping that person because they don't know. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
we're trying to educate
You're
them.
trying to educate them. But going back to the job security, well, you decide, okay, instead of this, let's do this, this, and this, and you already have part of the plan set for next time they come around. You can just easily
Work
connect
around it, yeah.
easily connect to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do want to go back to you. Let's hear a little bit more about like your story, like why did you get into tattooing? Because you said 9 months, right?
9 months. So
Yeah.
I actually was a CNA working for a doctor, and
Our son's doctor,
our,
by the
our
way.
son's doctor, yeah. So it's kind of connected to his tattooing story because he's the reason why I stopped working, but also the pandemic was very sketchy. I don't know if it's okay to talk about like how things
Yeah.
were. In.
We're open here.
Just
So
don't say
We're
the
raw.
C word.
What, COVID?
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You said it.
Fuck COVID. Fuck it.
So like I actually witnessed like a lot of things that were very bad. Like
Yeah.
New York got hit the worst.
Yeah.
So there was a time where like the bodies weren't fitting in the hospital, so they actually got a semi truck to put the like bodies. And there was a time where they were like, okay, well, there's a possibility you might go to New York. And I was like, what? Like, and he's like, you're not going. Like, you're not gonna go.
That's crazy.
But also too, I feel like we choose the career paths to make our parents happy. And I feel, and that's
They're
it's funny
talking about you.
because he was a nutritionist back in the day. You guys
Oh,
might not
snap.
see it. Yeah, so we both have that hospital background.
Oh, snap.
And I feel like part of it, we're like, okay, well, my mom's single parent. You want to make her happy, you know. I didn't grow up with a father, so it's like you want to be able to show the example for your other sisters. And I always drew. I was always drawing and stuff, but I never knew it was gonna make me a living. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, with drawing and artwork.
So like she was actually drawing for my son, like drawing a couple drawings and stuff for him, for he can color and all that stuff. And I told her, I looked at her and I was like, the
What the fuck? You can draw?
You know, I was like, you could draw?
Better than
Like,
me?
when did this happen? You know, like when did this happen and stuff? Like, so she was like, yeah, I've always drawn and stuff, but I never thought it would be anything. It's the same thing with me. I never thought art would actually take me anything. I'll tell you my story after hers, but yeah, like I never thought art. Well, she was like, I never thought art can be for me, kind of thing. And I told her, dude, we should start your apprenticeship. We should, like, I should teach you how to tattoo. and she was like
I was
hesitant.
hesitant because I'm a phlebotomist, so you're constantly drawing blood and giving vaccines, and I'm like, well, I'm hurting these people, and I'm gonna hurt these people.
Yeah.
And now he like doing a tattoo. I ask how many times do I ask my client if they're okay?
She's asking way too many times.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Oh,
And
that's-
I'm like, I feel such like an asshole all the time because the people around me too, like they back team their clients and stuff. They ask them like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I'm such an asshole. I'll be like, I just tattoo, and I'm like,
dying.
sometimes I'm just so focused that I'm not even looking at them and stuff. They'll be right there fidgeting and like, I'm like tattooing and stuff.
Yeah, so
You know?
it's so that back it's like he's like, well, you're hurting people because they need to, not because they want to. So that's when I was like,
Ding.
okay. And then what actually I didn't start right away, but I saw our artist now, Sam Bam. She was
She was doing her apprenticeship.
and then I saw her do it, and I was like, you know what do I got to lose? You never know unless you try.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I was honestly very scared because I thought my mom was going to be very disappointed. And now she's like, wow, I can't believe you're doing like this artwork, and
Like right away too, like she saw the stuff that she was doing, like even the outlines and stuff, she was like super positive about it.
Yeah.
It's cool
'Cause
to
you
have
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to have parents when they're like actually doing that and stuff like that.
Yeah, that what you're describing right there, because my mentor is Gary Vee, and he talks about that all the time. Like a lot of the resentment that adults have towards like their parents is because they decided to go to a path that they thought to please their parents and not to please themselves, And so he's trying to push this whole thing, like just do you. Who cares if your
Yeah.
parents get mad? You know what I'm saying? At the end, when they see you happy and your progression and you're just like you're glowing,
Yeah.
it's because you decided to not just please them, to please yourself, be selfish, and
do
then
what makes you happy.
exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta be the rebel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. I'm like, I would say I am
Sometimes
the,
the rebel is
the
the most successful.
degenerate of my
Yeah.
family because I am the one that they're like, oh yeah, like when we're playing games and stuff. Oh, who's the one that does this? And I'm like, oh, it's her. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But I feel like growing up, I saw so many things, and you just want to be able to like create your own path, create your own future.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what defines you.
So you were hanging around with, as you guys got together, right?
Yeah.
You guys became a couple.
Yeah.
You would hang around the shop a lot where he was at, Killer Ink, right?
Yeah.
Killer.
Killer Tattoos.
Well,
Killer
after
Tattoos,
my
sorry.
boyfriend dumped me.
She slid in my DMs, by the
next-
way.
I did. I was the
Let's
one
get that
that-
on the
Hey,
record.
respect,
She slid in my DMs.
Yeah,
you know?
I was like, you know what? He's my second boyfriend. Well, not him, but he's now my third. But I was like, this mother effer broke my heart. I'm gonna go be a hoe, All right. And I go and be a hoe, and I get pregnant within 3 months of knowing him.
Oh, snap.
We weren't
We weren't
together.
together.
Yeah, we
We were
weren't
just hooking
together.
up.
Like I said, I was.
Como dicen, you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Un clavo saca otro clavo.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, I
And
was.
this is why tattoo artists get that rap.
There you go.
So you got pregnant and
got
you had to
pregnant.
become a
I
mom.
had to become a mom, and I was still working. And at the time, his career wasn't like what it is now. So I'm gonna actually give that to him so he can explain.
All right. So, yeah. So let's hear your come up story, bro.
Okay.
Like, how did it work?
So I was always an artist since I was little. Like like I said, like my first drawings, I was like at 5 years old when I was first drawing, and like my first painting I ever sold when I was like in middle school, 7th grade, 6th grade, around there. I had like a real big support system with like my old teachers and stuff like that. They really supported me and pushed me to pursue art, And my dream of all dreams was to become an animator for Disney,
Yeah.
And I have a love-hate relationship with Pixar and Disney because I love not Disney but Toy Story.
Okay.
Because I love Pixar and Disney and Toy Story, but I hated it because they broke my dream. Because once they started doing the animation and like computers and stuff, they eliminated like 50% of their artists that they needed.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. Like I wanted to be a Pixar artist, but not Pixar artist, a Disney artist and stuff like that. And then I started thinking about comic books because I've always grown up with comic books as well. So like, I'm gonna be a comic book artist, And then it just kept on going and growing and stuff. And then I wanted to be a game designer and stuff like that. But I went into the Art Institute to be a game designer, and then they started teaching me about like all the coding and stuff like that. I was like, I didn't sign up for this,
Yeah.
you know. I
just wanna draw.
I just want to draw.
Cool characters.
I want to do pretty pictures. You know?
Colors. Where are the colors? I want to see numbers.
You know? They showed me all the coding stuff,
Yeah.
and I actually was intimidated by the guys that were actually in the school with me, because I was going to school with people that have already made their full games and stuff. So that intimidated me and stuff.
Yeah.
So I fell off on that. I fell off on my art and stuff like that. I said, let me do something where my parents will be proud of me for. You know, like I always wanted to please my parents. My parents are everything for me.
Where are your parents from?
My parents are from Guatemala. So and they're hardcore Christians and stuff. Well, my mom is, and my dad is Catholic, but he still goes to Christian church and stuff. So I wanted to just please them, you know. So I went off, did my own thing, my thing, you know, of like pleasing them and getting regular jobs, and they were happy with me. They were happy about the jobs that I was getting and holding, you know. And I met Killer through my ex-wife. Yeah, she's my second wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, when I told you earlier, people
Yeah.
come into your life for a reason.
Got it.
That's the
Okay.
story that.
So I met my ex-wife and stuff, and she's the reason I got introduced to Killer. Like one of her best friends actually hooked me up because I wanted a tattoo, and she hooked me up with his number, and they gave him a call, and he came to my house because at the time he used to do house calls and stuff. He came to my house, and right away we hit it off. Like Killer is somebody that I respect a lot. He's somebody I love, you know. He's
Very inspiring.
Yeah, he's a true homie, you know.
Really?
Like he came. So I got my first tattoo, which is funny because now that I'm known for my anime tattoos and stuff like that, it's funny that he recognized and he said, "You know what's funny, bro? The first tattoo I ever did on you was an anime character."
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's right here, my
Full
forearm.
circle.
Yeah.
My forearm. And he was like, "That's crazy." And so he came. For a while he was tattooing me and stuff, and then finally, like, I actually asked him, like, "Hey, I've been wanting a tattoo, you know, like I'll love for you to teach me and stuff." And he was like, and I told him, like, "I'll pay you for it. I'll pay you for you to teach me." He was like, "Bro, we're homies now. Like, we're homies. I'll do it for free. I'll teach you for free and stuff." And at the time, I used to go to his house. I used to go to his house because that's where he was tattooing at the time. I'll go to his house and see him tattoo and stuff and just look at him tattoo the whole day, you know? And then he opened up the shop. And when he opened up the shop, that's when I would go on the weekends and stuff, because that's how he was real cool and really understanding in the beginning, like when I can only go the weekends, you know? I'll go to the weekends and stuff and see him tattoo, clean the shop and stuff like that, set him up, break him down. And
Like an unofficial apprenticeship.
yeah, in the beginning it was like that and stuff, and then a year into being like that, you know, he was. I showed him a tattoo I did on myself because I was still not working there. I showed him a tattoo I did on myself. He was like, "You're ready to tattoo here, bro," and I was like, "Let's do it," you know.
Yeah.
Then the first tattoo, I did matching tattoos with him, which is the most nerve-wracking I could be, because, you know, he's such amazing artist, and I was gonna do my first tattoo on a client that was trying to match his work, which I didn't, you know.
Right.
I really didn't, you know. But he kept me on, you know.
dope.
He kept me on as the walk-in guy, you know. I was a walk-in guy.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 6 years,
6
you know,
years?
and during my first few years, like first year and stuff, I decided that I'm gonna do full time, because I've always been that person that says that you can't become better if you're not really 100% in it. So I saw actually I saw an interview that Travis Barker did, you know, that he said that his mom told him, like, "I want you to be a drummer. Don't give that up." And he was like, so that's when he started getting his face tattooed, his neck tattooed, his head tattooed and stuff, because make him unhireable. And that's what I started doing. I made myself unhireable because I did not want to have a plan B. There's only a plan A.
Yeah.
So I focused and I pushed myself, and But during that time that I was doing that, my first few years of my tattoo career, I became basically homeless. I was living in my car. I was living in my car and stuff. And
While you were working at Killer Ink?
yeah, when I was working at Killers and
Full
stuff.
time?
Yeah, full time.
Oh, snap.
He was living
Because
in
I
the shop.
was tattooing 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5 maybe a month.
Yeah,
Well,
because
and
you,
it
you
was
didn't have a
walking.
client.
Oh my God, this is so many years. I'm so bad with this. But
2015? No, 2014.
And you guys were together?
No, not
no,
yet.
not
Not
yet.
yet.
We,
Okay,
we
this is
hadn't
prior.
met yet. Yeah.
You
we
haven't came in
met
the
yet.
picture at
Yeah.
the time.
Actually, so I asked Killer, like, hey bro, is it cool if I bring in my inflatable bed here and I start living here?
Damn.
And like a true homie, he was like, yeah, bro, just make sure that you take it out before the clients come in and stuff.
Yeah.
And because of that, I legit would always clean up the shop in the morning, and that's one thing I can always say about Killer too. Like even before that, before me living there, he would be one of the first people I would see at the shop. He was the first person there cleaning up the shop, making sure. And that's something that I brought into my shop in the beginning. Like I would go in there, clean my shop and stuff to make sure it's good, because I didn't want, I got it from him. Like I'm not big enough. I'm not too big to fucking clean my own shop.
Bam.
So when I met you, you were homeless?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I was living at the shop for, I would say like 6-7 months at the shop and stuff because I didn't have no other way. Like I was legit trying to like. Sometimes the homies would say, "Oh, come to the house. We're gonna have a party and shit." Like you'll be like, "Hell yeah, let's go!" Because I get food. I get liquor, and I get to sleep there, I get to shower, and so when I was living at the shop and stuff, like I was living at the shop, I'll go to the gym just to shower 24 hours and stuff. I'll go to the gym just to shower and come back to work and get to work,
That's crazy.
And Killer he'll be feeding me and stuff. He'll be like, "Oh, go get some lunch for us. Go get some dinner for us." So he'll basically like, without him, I would have been starving.
See, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's a struggle that a lot of people don't understand. You have to go sometimes.
Yeah, they don't understand it. They see like where you're at now.
Yeah.
And they don't see the struggle of what got you there.
Well, that's why I think these podcasts are so important, bro. They're highlighting something that your followers are going to hear now. And you probably have told this to a lot of your followers, your clients,
my clients,
but not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you feel like you're a recording machine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the point of this podcast, is to tell the process, man, of where you got and to highlight those struggles, because where you're at now is because you did all those sacrifices. How long were you living there in the tattoo shop?
Like 6 or 7 months.
6 or 7 months?
6 or
And so
7
he
months.
forcefully moved into my
Yeah, that's
room.
during that time when I was living there. She actually, that's when we met.
I
and
was
stuff.
renting I started working when I was 15 because my mom was single parent. I had to look after my sister. Mind you, my little sister got pregnant at 14 years old, so I had to help her. So I had 3 jobs. And then I became a CNA, and I was a little bit more stable, and I moved out. But my other room was literally like, how small was it? Like
We can't even
this.
compare.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
so big.
This
It
is
was-
big.
it was
Maybe
big.
Like
the
that
lobby.
couch right there.
Maybe the lobby.
Yeah, for
Maybe.
$600. And then when I met him, I didn't get pregnant yet. We were hooking up still. He was like, "Oh, can I shower like in your room?"
I was
Like-
gonna ask you, were you straight up with her? Like, hey, yo, I don't have a place to stay
Well,
right now.
I
She
knew.
knew.
Yeah,
Like, because
because
the
there were
thing is
times
that-
where I didn't want him to be alone at the shop, that I would go and sleep with him at the shop. That's where our son was made.
Oh, shit. So he's going to be a tattoo artist. He's
Yeah.
going to be like, I don't know why I want to be a tattoo artist. I just feel the vibe. It's in my blood because you were made in the tattoo
So
shop.
I didn't want him to be alone. And at that time, I was like, oh, well, like I see that he was struggling to get clients. And I was putting in the work over here at my other job. And I was like, okay, well, I was swapping sex for tattoos. I was like, tattoo me, like, so all my
so
right,
bad.
all my right hand is his old work.
Raw.
Yeah. It's his old work to now. It's like I mess around and I tell people I want to like get it lasered off. But no, this is very memorable to me because this is where he started
The struggles.
compared to where he's at now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
to
because
me.
you look at those tattoos and you guys
Yes.
think of the time where you guys were together, the struggles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know where the money was going to come from.
Yeah.
It wasn't stable.
And so when she got pregnant, it's actually like already 2 years into my career and stuff, so I was still struggling. We were both struggling, you know. So once she got pregnant, I was about to stop tattooing. I was gonna say, you know what, I can make more money just doing a regular job.
Because your dad wanted you to be a truck
Yeah,
driver.
my dad wanted me to be a truck
Troquero.
driver.
Yeah.
Troquero. Because that's what he's done all his
Yeah.
life and stuff, and
That's-
he loves it because he has so much love for it, and he even has like his little trucks and stuff that he would
Of
collect
course, yeah.
back in
It's
the
all
day.
good.
He actually liked that stuff, and so he told me like, I want you to like, then now that your baby's coming, that you need to have a secure job.
Secure job.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was about to quit completely.
Why
quit
didn't
and
you
stuff.
quit?
She did. She made me stop, not quit. She was like, "You're not gonna do that."
Yeah, I want to
that-
highlight. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to highlight that when we're talking, he was adamant about you coming and be part of the podcast. I was like, bro, I got a girl that backs me up 100. So
Yeah.
the fact that I hear that kind of a story,
Yeah,
bro. So continue.
yeah. It was crazy because, like I said, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't have what I have because she's the one who pushed me. You know,
Damn.
she's the one who like said, "No, you can't do that. You can't give up your dream." And this was my dream now. Like right when I first started my apprenticeship, became my dream that I wanted to be a tattoo artist. There was not one day that I would not go on YouTube after
he was-
after a day of seeing killer tattooing, because most of my days were just looking at other people tattoo.
Yeah.
You know,
I
after a
think that's
day
how
of
it
me
is, too.
seeing him tattoo, I would still go on YouTube and see more other people tattoo. You know, like that was everything for me.
So yeah,
It
this, sorry to control, but I think it's crazy how you said like this is a struggle you have to go through, and right now in an era where all these artists are popping up and they just see the final product, like you becoming one of the owners of the first tattoo shop or the anime tattoo shops in the Empire, right? They don't see that struggle. They feel like, oh, I could just trace that and do this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
like back in the
day,
day.
yeah, it wasn't like that. I feel like for you to get to the point where you are right now, you had to go through that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I had to go through it and appreciate, and it made me appreciate anybody that gets tattooed by me. I appreciate them all the time. I post it all the time. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have that, because it's truly what it is. Because I'm nobody without my clients.
Steve does that a lot.
Yeah.
Follow him. He does that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how close you guys are
Yeah, I've
relationship,
always-
but he does a lot of appreciation posts, and I'm just like, that's dope. You know, you need to
Yeah.
appreciate where you come from so that you don't ever like take it for granted.
Yeah, because when I was working, and I said, you know what, you go do you. Like, you got to focus on what is best. I was big, and I was still like working full hours. I was doing overtime with the belly, and I was like, well, I'm gonna bring in the rent. Like, you figure
She
out
was
what
the
you
main
do.
provider. She was the main provider because I was still not making no money.
Damn.
So like I said, my son was about to be born. I was about to quit. My father was telling me like, you have to go into trucking and stuff like to make money. And I was actually going to school for it. I was going to school, but she said, no, you can't give up on your dream and stuff. You can't. You just can't. So I kept on it. Okay. My son was about to be born. So I focused. My complete focus was on tattooing. And even before it was, but I still had my partying times, you know, but I didn't have my partying times now because I just thought about there's somebody coming into this world that doesn't deserve to be living off of miserias, like little bits, you know?
Your back was against the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to do this. I started focusing more, and my work started becoming better and better, you know? And then my son was about to be born. Right when he was about to be born, it started slowly going up a little bit by little. But I was still not making nothing. So once he was born, we were on food stamps. We were struggling. My parents used to pay my rent,
The diapers.
the diapers and stuff. My parents used to pay most of the stuff because
It was hard.
it was hard
Yeah.
because we just had the baby. And
I think what was very hard for me was that the maternity leave, you know how it was like 8-12 weeks.
Yeah.
I went back to work 5
Right
weeks
away.
after he
5
was
weeks
born.
in.
And he was a stay-home dad, and I was like hustling because I wanted him to focus on what needed to be focused on.
What gave you that thing where like I believe in him, he's gonna make it, I just gotta support him? Because a lot of wives probably are thinking that, you know, I see potential in my husband, you know what I'm saying? But what do you think?
I feel like for him, I would see his drawings and I'm like, oh my God, he's so talented. Like, I didn't want him to be like, at that time I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my mom proud. You know, I didn't want him to do the same. So I wanted him to have like, he's a really go-getter. Like I see it. He's a hustler.
Yeah.
I feel we both have that same mentality. And for me, I was like, okay, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. And you'd never know until like you try. And it's crazy because I would give him this advice, but I would never take my own advice. You know,
Yeah,
like
we do that at times. Yeah.
So I was still I came back to work and I was hustling. I was doing like 8 to 9 hours overtime, and I wasn't getting paid for overtime. And then he did one anime tattoo.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so like I was saying that once my son was born, yes, we were still on food stamps and stuff like that. My parents were paying rent, but it made me focus more about tattooing because I want my son to keep on, to have a good life, you know? And I was, once again, I was about to quit when my son was just born. I was about to quit again.
Gave up for a little bit.
I was about to give up completely for him because I always said I would give up my dreams to make sure my son's dreams can be fulfilled because he became my world. He became my everything, okay? So I was willing to give up everything. And she was like, no, you can't. Once again, she stepped in, like, no, you can't. You got to push it. You got to do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it for you guys. And I just want to now make my son proud of who his daddy is, you know?
I hear a lot of similarities in my story, too. I went through the same thing, bro. I went to try to just get a job, a stable job, you know, but I always wanted to draw. I did quit for a year, remember? And that's why the time when I would tattoo him throughout that year, and we would always just talk about, like, we should own a shop. And I was like, all right, fool, when you finish college, I'll be ready. You know, I'm like, he's not going to finish college. He's not partying. But he stuck with it. And then he came get tattooed. I'm like, hey, dude, I got 6 months left. I'm like, holy shit. I need to start saving some money, you know? And then it came to the point, like, hey, I graduated. Let's go. But I had quit a year. I would just tattoo, like, only him, pretty much. Maybe once in a while the homies, but I wasn't tattooing a lot.
Me after you quit a whole year of no tattooing.
Yeah.
So
I
you
did
only tattooed him?
No, I would tattoo, like, out of the garage. I did the whole hustle. I did tattoo parties, Pomona, all that area. I was just out there doing the grind in the garage. I had a couple garages decked out. I always try to do it legit. But at one point, it was so unstable with the tattoo money that I needed something stable. So I would go work at a school district, but I would come home and be tired. And I was like, fuck tattooing.
Mentally drained.
Yeah. So I stopped.
At the time, that's when I was getting tattooed by him that year, he quit. I moved to San Diego to go to school, and I quit tattooing for about a year.
What were you going to school for?
Multimedia designing.
Okay.
So it's still art related. Like I knew I wanted to do something with art. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I did what everyone does. I went on Google. What's the highest paying art job? So I went to multimedia designing, and then mid year, I was like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do. So I was like, I'll be a teacher. So I started working with kids, middle school kids, and I hated the politics of a school district.
Oh, it's...
So 1 week we had spring break, and I was like, I want to go get my ears pierced. Just random, you know? Pierced, like, fuck it, I'm going to do something wild. I went to 3 shops, they were all closed. And I went to another shop, they had no piercer. We called the one shop, and they're like, yeah, come in right now. And I went in. The guy in the front started talking to me about tattoos. I just mentioned, like, I used to do tattoos in LA.
I used to dabble.
Yeah, I used to dabble. He's like, really? Let me see your work. So I showed my old Instagram, and he's like, you want a job?
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
It really is.
He's all like, you want a job? I was like, bro, I go to school full time. I have 2 jobs. It's like, just come on the weekends.
Those other 4 shops were closed for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Bro, for real.
Exactly.
Like, girl.
Bro.
It's okay. I use bro all the time. Because we were meant to go into that shop that day.
Like I said, I feel like I got married to my ex-wife to meet Killer. Like that's the only relationship that actually
everything happens for a reason.
Carried from it, you know. So everything happens for a reason.
It goes back to what you said. I was working at the school district for 6 more months and doing tattoos on the weekend. When I just thought about it, I was like, I don't know how far this will get me because I was kind of in the same path with you. Like, I want to make my parents happy.
Yeah.
They never wanted me to do tattoos. But I was like, I was like, I hate this fucking school district. So I just said, fuck it. I came back to tattooing for a reason. I stopped tattooing, right? there's a reason why I came back to this. I'm gonna just go all in, see what happens.
Mm.
And that's around that time. That's when I was talking to him because I was working at that shop. I was like, we could do this way better.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Make
just
your
open
own
ourselves.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You went from that shop to now. You say you went to a private studio, right?
Yeah.
So how did that go about?
Or why did you go? More importantly,
Well,
Because a lot of people right now try to go into private studios thinking that's gonna be easier because they get all their money and all that. But in the beginning, they don't realize. Well, now you got to do all the work.
And not just that, it's not licensed.
It's
You're
not
doing,
licensed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not, what is it, zoned?
zoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's low key.
Yeah.
all the private studios usually is like low
Yeah.
key and kind of stuff.
Matter of fact, we just heard they're gonna crack down on all those.
Nah,
Yeah.
they've been.
They've been
Yeah.
because they went haywire,
Yeah.
you know, with COVID, you know. But anyways,
So it was actually during COVID when I actually decided that maybe it's time for me to branch out, and I couldn't see myself leaving Killer Shop and going to a different shop. I felt that was too much disrespect, kind of thing. And I actually had multiple people hit me up during that time, like during COVID, like, hey, you should come work for us. You can work for that. And big, yeah, like the biggest hitter for sure that hit me up about that was Adrian Lazaro. Yeah, he hit me up about going and join his shop and
where's
stuff.
Grayscale?
Great. No, was it Grayscale? I don't
Adrian
remember.
Lazaro.
Sure.
Where's he out of?
Well, he was in
Pasadena or
Pasadena.
Yeah, I think it's Grace
Grayscale.
Grace
Yes,
Studio
sir.
or something
Yeah,
like
Grayscale.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like so he hit me up about it and stuff, and I was really interested. I did a guest spot with him and everything like that, and it was super cool. It was just super far. It's
Yeah.
like I was doing like an
traffic.
hour drive every day, and I was like, maybe it wasn't for me kind of thing. But
Right.
I got hit up and by him. I got hit up by like Romeo Acosta. He's in Hollywood and stuff, and he wanted me to work with him right there too at his shop, and. But yeah, like I said, like I just felt like I couldn't do that. I felt like it was too much disrespect, especially because of how much he gave me.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've always been a respect kind of guy.
But I mean, if you would have told him like, "Yo, I
Oh.
feel like I need a change," I mean, you know, he would
He
have
was
been
very
like,
understanding.
yeah.
So he was like
super
worried for nothing.
understanding. Like he was super understanding, but it was still a big thing for me to even tell him like, hey, I
Yeah.
decided that I'm gonna do a
'Cause you-
private studio because of the respect I have for him, and he even looked at me and he told me like I never actually thought that you ever leave and stuff. Like he told me that and stuff, and I legit like
Your hard
I was yeah I almost fucking wanted to cry and shit. Like I was turning up and like, oh, don't tell me that.
He was very scared to venture on his own. But
Because it's on you, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Of course.
on you. You don't know
Scary.
what's
What you
gonna
don't know.
happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's the unknown. And I found a spot. I decided to open up a little private studio, and it was cool for a little bit. But I've always felt like I had to hide things. You know, I had to hide like, oh, my client's gonna go to the bathroom and stuff. Oh, put a shirt on or put your that
yeah,
kind of
because
thing.
we were in this like location
like
where
a
there was
medical
like
place.
yeah, no, it was like
It was like a
farmers, insurance,
yeah, it was like a
CPR,
little
and then-
businesses, a bunch of businesses in that little area thing. So
And the restaurant was communal. I mean, the restroom was communal or what?
Yeah, you
yeah,
had to
it
share
was.
between
It was
everybody
a-
else.
So I always felt like that, and I started missing having people around me. You know, I started missing having people around me, and that's when I told my wife, like, I think it's time for us to open up a shop. You know,
Dope.
and left and right, we were getting no's a bunch of times. Left and right, no, and I was getting so tired of it.
He was
I was
mad.
I
He's
was
like-
just so mad that I couldn't even just tell them I wanted to open up a tattoo shop. They didn't even know me. They didn't know the credit I have. They didn't know the money I had. They just kept on just saying no
Yeah,
right
the
away.
stigma of the
Because
tattoo.
sadly, like people see tattoos and like, oh my god, you're a gangster.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you bang like
Right
what the
across the
heck?
street from here, we wanted a spot up top because there's
Yeah.
the 2 floors. We're like, that'd be dope to see the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, no tattoo shops. I don't
Yeah.
care who you are, but no.
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
a couple of those too. I mean, I think it's because tattoo shops are still zoned under like bail bonds. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're right next to one. Strip clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be
It's
near a
zoned.
school.
Yeah.
But that's all gonna change, dude. As the councilmen start getting tatted and they have all these like nice work from
Yeah.
good shops like Iconic and your shop, they're gonna be like, well, they're killing it. They're bringing in good clientele.
Yeah.
They can be next to a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So like we were getting the no's and stuff. It was like maybe 4, 5, 6 months of that, of no's, just straight up no's, you know. And then even the city of Ontario, they wanted me in downtown. They wanted me, but they were saying like, we would love to have you in downtown. And they gave me all the places I can hit up. And I hit up those people and they said no.
No.
They said
Because
no.
the city can tell you, okay, you're zoned, but it's up to that person
The
that owns the
property
building.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like the workers, I was like, oh my God, really? And then I was telling my ideas of like it being anime and everything, anime tattoo shop.
Yeah.
They were like so excited. They were like, oh my God, I watch it. And they were like
Yeah.
super into it. They're like, oh, and then they even called me up like, so how did it go? What did they tell you? And then I was like, they didn't want me there.
It
You
got
know?
to a point where I had to start saying we're an art gallery.
Yeah.
Because they are switching up words because
Aesthetics.
We didn't want to call it a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
We were
People
calling
would
it
get
a
scared.
Studios.
tattoo gallery, a tattoo studio kind of thing.
We came across that too in Rialto. In Rialto, we have to go do a what is it? What was that thing called? It was a permission. Oh, I lost the word, but permissible certification or whatever. And pretty much, in short, means like you have to pay up $3,000 for
I know
us
what
to
you're
just
talking
talk to the councilman. If they like your idea, if you said it good, cool, we'll accept you. If you're not, you lost your money because it's our time.
Yeah.
So you're
Like,
like, risking
fuck
it
that.
for
We're
nothing.
we're like on a low budget, you know what I'm saying? So we went to Fontana. They're like, dude, just pick wherever you want. We'll hook you up. So shout out to Fontana councilman. Appreciate you. You guys are doing it. You guys gave these people a chance. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
even starting off, like now you got to think about the square footage. Like, what's your budget? You know, can you make that a month?
Yeah.
For us, we're on a low budget, so we're
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck, we gotta find a place with like that's comfortable and we can still make our money back and all that, right?
But you all start somewhere. Remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So we found this spot, and same thing. There was a tattoo shop here before, so the
that
landlord wasn't trusting us, so he actually charged us double deposit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Because the prior tattoo owner left with the salty, like,
Okay.
you
They
know,
didn't even pay the rent.
they didn't pay that. So they're like, I don't want to hire. I'm like, are you guys, he even asked us, huh? Are you the same people just renaming it? I'm like, no, you know, I used to work there, but I have nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? This is my own thing. This is our own thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I want to highlight something you brought up, dude. Like, you felt bad telling Killer Tattoos that you wanted to leave. You know, we always tell our artists here, like, we appreciate it if you guys, we don't force anybody to stay here. We appreciate that you guys stay for the long haul. That's dope. We work for you guys as well, you know? But if you ever need to grow, if you feel like that's it, you've had enough here, you're welcome to go. You know, we don't own you. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, we don't own you. Yeah, we gave you an opportunity. But at the same time, if you feel like you outgrow and there's a better opportunity, do it. And if you want to open up your shop and you need some feria, some money, let us know. Maybe we can help you, and we could, you know, maybe we can go in on it. So we can, as shop owners, and I want to highlight this because we're shop owners, right? We should give these ideas to the younger artists, because then they're gonna feel that, like, you know,
They're not capped at one spot.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
There's
And
always
if
room
now
for
they
growth.
know that, you know, well, he can help me if I want to, maybe they will take the opportunity, maybe not. They're gonna be like, well, you know, I can grow here, you know. So I just wanted to highlight that up. That's dope that you did that, you know.
Yeah, it was just like I said. It was just the respect that I have for him and what he actually did for me, kind of thing. Because just like my clients, I'm nowhere without my clients. I'm nowhere without Killer. You know,
Facts.
that was the thing. You know, like it was all about respect, and he still shows me love to this day. You know, like
He still he came to our grand opening.
he came to a grand opening. He just gave me a bottle and stuff. It was like.
So you're okay. So you did the grand opening, right? And how was that? Was it stressful?
So we did the grand opening a year after.
No, it
No?
was a few months after.
Was it
a
a
few
few
months?
months
Yeah, a
after?
few months after. A few months after where we actually officially opened, because for a month, I wasn't even allowed to have the artists that I hired there for a month because the
license.
licensing and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Got it.
So the people, the health department said, like, you could tattoo here, but nobody else can. Okay, you could
Yeah,
tattoo, but
because
nobody else can.
I guess when you get a new artist, like it takes like weeks for their licensing to go
process,
through. Yeah,
yeah.
so they technically can't be working there, but now it's like,
That's
well,
kind of makes sense.
It's
Oops.
like whatever. Like, are they even gonna come in? Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah, so they there was a few months later, And thank God that we actually did one of the grand openings, because that's when it went viral.
It took
went
one
viral.
client to
Yeah,
do
one
a
client.
video. And it
Well,
got
actually,
like,
two people.
yeah?
Two people
yeah.
did videos, and both of theirs went viral.
Like 1
And
point
On
something
TikTok
million.
or-
Yeah,
TikTok.
TikTok.
Bro, that's crazy, huh? We one of our artists did Friday the 13th, and his post went viral. Literally, everybody was coming from TikTok.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell?
TikTok is the moneymaker, and
Yeah.
you want to be making videos because I said earlier, like they're here for the aesthetic. So even like that sign, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's beautiful. You know, we take a picture. Of
Should we
it.
put some wings there then?
Yeah.
Because all the coffee shops have wings.
Yeah,
Shout out to the coffee shops, yo! I just went to one that had wings there.
it's crazy though. Like nowadays, you go to TikToks, and I'm a huge foodie person. Like you see it, you're like, oh, I want to go there.
Yeah.
So that's what everybody likes. Like I feel like TikTok is a huge part now of like the whole.
But have you seen now the videos that are coming out, like the Instagram or TikTok videos compared to the reality videos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how was it, man? What was the scariest part about opening up that other than you never have experience owning a shop? What was it?
Artists not wanting to join your team.
Oh,
Or not making ends meet.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Like, am I gonna have to pay this whole tattoo shop by myself? Am I gonna be here by myself? Because in the beginning, I got a lot of no's. Like, I used to have like a list of artists that I had, and all the people that I really would want to love to have at my shop.
And you would recruit them just even if they're working at another shop. You would be like, "Yo, I like your work. You want to come work with me?"
I was legit
Damn,
doing that.
beast, bro.
I had to.
I think I got a message from you. I was like, "Who's this guy?" I don't do that shit. I'm just kidding.
I had to and stuff, bro, because the truth is that I saw the artists that I wanted, and I had to go up after them because I just had to do it. It's like life, If you want something so bad, you have to go for it. And if you get the no's, it's cool. You gotta understand it and respect it.
Did you ever think about the taboo part of it, the negative? Like, man, this guy's going after my artist, or you didn't care?
I had to not care because of the fact that my shop was gonna be only anime, and I knew that if I can get a certain amount of anime artists with me, like, we can kill it.
But a lot of the artists that we have now, they're either working from home or they wanted to leave because they were the only anime artists at their shop. So it makes sense.
That was the easy way of saying it too. It's like, you're the only anime artist. Come join an all anime team.
Yeah. So most of the artists that we did hit, we would always look at the shop and see like, oh, okay, like let's see if we can offer them a spot if they're all anime based.
How hard was it to push the idea of just all anime?
So
Like, just niche.
It was pretty hard in the beginning. After I got all the no's, that's when it was pretty hard. After I got the no's and stuff, I started thinking maybe I should just do a black and gray shop, because I was in that black and gray realm, and I knew a lot of black and gray artists, so why not hit those people up? I was thinking about that, and one of my guys that I have now, he was like, if I was you, bro, I'll do only anime because that's what you want. You should do it. And that's CPO Chris. He's the one. He's
our right hand.
I say he's my left hand because I do a lot of dirty things with
God.
my right.
Pause. I just learned that word, so I'm using it with I learned it from the young artists, but
yeah, like
that takes some balls,
so like
some huevos, bro.
I decided he was telling me, if I was you, I should just do it all anime. I was like, you know what? That's what I want. That's been what I've been wanting from the beginning, to make it an all anime shop, because I just wanted to be surrounded by people like-minded like me. Let's nerd it up. That's all I wanted.
Let's nerd it up.
Let's nerd it up and shit.
For the most part, we play anime on the TVs, and everybody is
watch
watching,
movies, anime,
Really?
and stuff like that. And it's because the people that come to us are anime fans.
Yeah.
So they come in there, they see everything on the walls, and they're like, "Holy heck!" Like, I'm in where I was supposed to be. We want to give them that experience of like
basically a small Comic-Con.
Yeah,
basically.
there you go.
Let's do a small little anime con kind of thing, and just.
I think what you did right there is a good example of you just going in super niche and getting your target market.
Yeah.
This is a business podcast as well, so we like to highlight that. You guys know your exact client, and you're gonna make it the experience exact for them, and that's all you're offering, and you're taking no other work. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so successful. I mean, you guys are booked for months.
Yeah.
And this time right now, it's a little tough to be booked for months.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, man. Congratulations.
Thank
for
you very
real.
much. Yeah, like all our artists right now are currently booked for at least 2-3 months. That's an average.
Yeah.
And myself, like I said, I'm booked for like 8-9 months. But my wife that just got out of her apprenticeship, she's already booked up 2 to 3 months. And
good.
it's because we show everybody that this is what we love. This is what, if you come to us, we're gonna make sure that anime piece that you want is gonna be the best anime piece that it can be delivered.
And do you feel like surrounding yourself with other anime artists really pushes that work?
Oh yeah.
Compared to like being around with everyone that does everything else?
So it's
Yeah,
crazy because
completely.
our artists, like, we're a big family, but we're also able to separate that business. Like, hey, you got to do this, or they basically have full freedom. When we opened the shop, I wanted them to make their own schedule. They can come in whenever they want, and it's private, so they don't have to worry about walk-ins or anything like that. So I feel like we're like, I get up and I'll watch them because it's very inspiring to see like how they each tattoo. And for me, it's like that. It's gonna make me a better tattoo artist in the future.
That's dope.
Yeah, like I see everybody work, and it just hypes me up when you have people doing the same concepts, like anime. You have the same style, having the same style, but different ways of what we do. It's super inspiring when I see a piece done by one person or the other person. I look at it and I'm like, dude, that shit is so cool, so epic, And it was a little different when you do anime and when you do realism stuff. So it was a little hard to like compare it, because I'll be seeing a realism piece and I'm like, fucking hey, that's crazy. But how am I gonna do that? Compare that to like an anime piece that I'm
whole
gonna do?
different
It's
thing,
completely different.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you have anime and anime, it's easier. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try this thickness of line, this thick liner kind of thing, So it's cool. Like, then that's the main purpose of me having the shop that I have, is because I wanted to surround myself with some badass artists that do anime, and I'm enjoying it every day.
So if somebody walks in and says, I want a Zeus from you, and I'll pay
personally-
you like double, would you do it still? Or
I
no?
personally still take on realism.
Okay,
I
so
just
you
don't
do-
post it.
got it, yeah.
I just don't post it.
That's why I wanted to bring that up because
Or do you make it into like an anime Zeus or?
no, you know why? Because we focus a lot of black and gray here. This is like 80%. I'm one of the ones that does a lot more of the color. I'll try everything. I'm doing a biomechanical cover up right now. I'll try everything just because my mind is like, I want to try a little bit of everything. That's just how I always been. One of our artists, Tony, he does beautiful black and gray, and then somebody hit him up for a anime piece, and he came from Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
And he killed it. It's one of this dope piece, well saturated, the composition, and he did an amazing piece. And now I'm like, once you post that, bro, you're gonna be anime. You're not gonna be black and gray. So he even thinks about that because
There's
it's
no
true.
going back.
What you post is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, actually,
Absolutely.
he got that person from Phoenix because he posted a reel of another Dragon Ball Z piece he did.
Okay.
So that guy saw it in Phoenix. He's like, oh, I'm gonna drive to Cali and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're firefighters, so they make
Yeah.
they make good money.
Anime community is so big.
That's
Like,
crazy. I didn't know it was that
It's
big.
huge. It's huge. Like, there, and especially nowadays, because you see these rappers, you see these like main star actors are now more open to tell their stories. Like, yeah, I watch anime, and giving them like, even their own top list of
Like,
their favorite animes.
The
and stuff.
reggaeton guy.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, no.
came out with the whole.
Anuel rapped his Lambo or something. No,
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah.
no, and I think Bad Bunny references Itachi, which
Itachi
is
was
one of his
Itachi, one of the
songs.
So then Bad Bunny is Bad Bunny,
Yeah.
and like
That's
a bunch
big.
of rappers nowadays, they're like referencing anime characters, anime like it's just anime in general.
You go to the mall, you see it's anime now.
Yeah,
Clothes.
there's different stores and stuff.
I got a question. What age range are your clients?
Mine,
What's your demographics on that?
mine range from 18 to like
30s.
30s, late 30s and stuff, because now
Hardly any. Roughly in your 40s? No, not much.
not really.
No,
Like
no.
once in a while I do,
Yeah.
but it's like late 30s.
Yeah.
Because they're like my age too. A lot of my
18 to
clients
30 is your clientele.
a lot of my clients, they're my age and stuff, because I'm
like the new
35.
generation
I'm
coming
35
up.
and stuff. And like I said, back in the day, it was like taboo. Like even my first tattoo that I got it was an anime piece, but I didn't want it to do a drama piece, even though how bad I wanted a drama piece, because I didn't want people to make fun of it. You know, so I got Afro Samurai tattooed on me, which is an anime that it's an Americanized anime and stuff, that I knew the people that would see it, they'll be like, oh, cool, that's dope. What is it? And then I'll show them and I'll be like, oh, it's just a samurai. But people that knew be like, oh shit, that's Afro Samurai. I'm like, hell yeah. And that's how we connect, you know?
Yeah.
But it was because I didn't want to do a mainstream, like people to make fun of me kind of thing. But nowadays, it's so accepted that now everybody wants to get what they loved from their childhood. And people always ask us, oh, and some people will say to them, more than likely, that, aren't you going to outgrow it? It was like, well, I've been watching anime since I was 5. I don't think this is going away from me. You know? It's not going away.
You remind me of an example when one of my clients came and he found me, and I tattooed him a character. You guys are gonna hate me for this because I don't know anything about anime, but he has an M on him and he has like this little like
Imagine Boo, Kid Boo.
Yeah,
Kid Boo.
that.
Is he
that
pink?
person. Yes.
Okay.
She
And
just
so
tattooed him.
I added a Laker jersey on it. It was a cover up, right? So I had to work some stuff, but he believed in me. He liked my work. But I was like, I apologize, I don't know anything about anime, but I'm gonna try to. What if we do this? And we're looking at references, right? He goes, no, but that doesn't go with this, and that storyline doesn't make sense with this. And what if we do this? So the point of what I'm saying is, any clients that come in, they should do their work and they should do their due diligence in finding an artist that knows the storyline, because you would right away figure out a good composition because you know the story. I didn't know any of this, so I try to do my best. You know, an art is still art, right?
Yeah.
But the storyline, the composition, you know, why?
Yeah.
He was telling me certain times in that character's life that he's different, and I couldn't understand the concept because I've never watched it.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
I
the
can
same.
relate with you because I just started watching anime, and so I have the boys to educate me in that. And sometimes they do nag on me a little bit, like, "Hey, like you got to get your stuff straight," you know?
Yeah, because one of the things I always tell people is that if you do your research and you get a person that's gonna do anime piece and they love anime, they're gonna know the references to use and what references not to use. You once in a while, like if like a regular black and gray artist sees something and they don't know much about it, they'll use a reference that looks cool, but in reality it doesn't work well because of the face. Usually it's the faces. Faces are messed up so many times,
Especially in
on
fan
references. Yeah, because you'll be getting a fan art and that's only they're thinking of how they should look, but not in reality. I'll see most of the, like, I'll get a reference that's cool, it looks cool, you know, but I'm redrawing the full face because that's the number one thing that gets messed up on the faces.
Wow.
And that's, I always think about the face, like, does it really look like the character that it's supposed to? And you'll get criticized for it if you don't get it right, you know, because the people that follow us, they're so in love with the anime characters that they're getting. They'll see a character that doesn't look right and they'll tell you right away. They're gonna see it, they're like, that's not how he's supposed to look.
Yeah.
You know?
So how do you get your references? Do you watch a lot of anime and just like screenshot, or
A lot of screenshots, Pinterest, fucking going from like Google research, Google images and stuff, and then you just put a bunch of stuff together. Or like if you have to draw up a hand, once in a while we'll use our own hands and stuff as our references.
And then
Like,
we'll
we'll
draw them
just-
I
out.
see a lot of
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, we'll just do our own hands and stuff. I don't use really my hands because that's a fat ass hands and shit. But I'll use my wife's hands. I'll use other people's hands and stuff. Like I'll be like, oh, do this pose for me, you know? Or like George, you just have to just draw the whole thing off from scratch kind of thing sometimes. And those are the ones that take a little longer. But in the long run, once in a while I'll be doing that and it's like, dude, these are freaking fun. Because you started from the beginning, you know? You started from the beginning and then to the end of the tattoo, you're like, this
Have you done a big full back piece of anime?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's currently working on one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on one right now. Full back piece, but I've already done a full frontal.
He's a walking masterpiece.
I've already
Do you
done
take them to conventions or no?
Not yet.
because I don't really do that many conventions.
Are you gonna do Incon?
No.
Is that
No?
the one in Ontario?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that
No.
Freddie Negretti's?
Yeah.
Freddie Negretti's
Yeah.
and Trusted Tattoo. We had them on here, and
Okay.
and we haven't been in conventions in a while, so we were like, this is in our backyard, so we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
like right here.
thought about it. You know, I thought about doing more convention stuff, but I'm a family man. Like I miss my son too much when I go to one tattoo convention a year, and that's the Anime Inc.
Anime
in
Inc.
Richmond, in
Virginia.
Richmond,
All
Virginia.
anime?
All
Yeah, it's
anime. You
all
see girls
anime.
walking around, sexy girls. We call them waifus. So
Yeah.
if you ever see a hot like anime girl,
Uh-huh.
it's
They're
waifu.
Waifu?
Waifu.
Waifu.
Yeah.
And how do they dress? What?
Oh,
The
sexy with the
sexified.
boobs out.
Like rave style?
Kind
Yeah,
of.
basically.
Yeah.
Basically, they're trying to
Wigs.
dress like the characters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Cosplay, right?
Sexy
Yeah.
version of the characters.
So
Yeah.
they did an anime convention here, but it was Anime Con, right?
No, it
No.
was.
Is that the one in Ontario?
No,
No.
in LA.
LA?
It was an
It
anime
was at,
con.
like,
No,
yeah.
not anime con.
It was
Anime
Anime
con.
Con.
Yeah.
And we took our son. I mind you, at the time
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
know,
know.
right? He's 7. And there's a girl walking in a thong and fishnets, and my son goes, "Ooh, booty!"
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh my god!"
my son, he's like a ringer of me for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's already ready. He's already like.
Yeah.
He
No,
looks
my
like
son will probably
girls.
be like,
No.
My son, he loves girls.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
tells us all the time that he has 100 girlfriends.
damn.
And the
7 years
craziest
old?
part is, I was mentioning earlier that he has autism, and that's something that I wanted to also like talk about, because I wanted our shop always said I want it to be like we've had a few clients that were like, "Oh, will you tattoo this like a kid with autism or like a teenager with autism?" I'm like, "Yeah, like
As long as they're 18.
the longest they're 18."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. As long as they're 18, but I wanted to be more involved with like the community, like the autism community and stuff.
Are you guys doing stuff for that
For the
community? as far as I
Autism
know?
Awareness Month, I wanted to start doing like flashes. So like, because now autism spectrum is like very wide. So a lot of
Yeah.
parents like want to be able to get like,
Yeah, I used to even at Killers and stuff. I would get clients that would want the puzzle and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I've done the
Yeah.
puzzle. Remember one time you recorded me with
Yeah,
that?
I've done a few puzzles and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna lie, I charge them very, really cheap
Yeah.
because
Bro,
Yeah.
it
I
hit,
always say, dude, like we're human. We're not printers.
it,
Yeah.
it hit the heart,
Yeah.
like all that stuff always hits for me.
The other day, I did a name in red on the collar, first tattoo for that gentleman, and I have my set day, and I don't really take smaller work anymore.
Yeah, me
But
too.
this guy just came in and he's like, "Hey, I was referred to you by so and so, and I just want to get this name my first tattoo. My wife's just we just found out she has cancer."
fuck.
And he was even like breaking in his voice.
Aw.
And mind you, I'm just finishing a full day piece, and I sat with him in the couch, and I heard him tell him his story, and I felt the pain, and I was like, you know what? This guy came to me as a referral. He believes in me. It's his first tattoo. I mean, I'll be messed up if I said, you know what? I don't do small
Yeah.
tattoos,
Yeah.
So I did it. So I set it up, right? He comes in a week later. He brings his buddy, and they film it. And it's going to be a surprise for his wife. And I just got the video. And he just surprised his wife. And it was just like, I was part of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so
You
sometimes
helped
we have to
bring it
realize we're not printers. We're
Yeah.
human. And we have to understand that. And understand that maybe you can fluctuate your prices, not all the time.
Yeah.
For occasions like that.
I've done that multiple times and stuff. Like just recently, there was a girl that she wanted her dog portrait that just passed, and I love dogs. I have 3 of them, and they're all named from anime characters and stuff too. It was my
'Cause he
only
wanted
rule.
to name our son after anime character.
yeah,
and I was
my
like,
son- You're
like,
no.
there's a limit.
Yeah, there's a limit.
So yeah, like
What
she.
was his name?
Our son is King.
Uh-huh.
So
like the
our
shop.
shop is named after
King's
him
Inc.
because I always,
So
like I said, that he's my world. So I knew that if I was gonna have a tattoo shop, it was gonna be named after him. For him to know that he has something.
That's
in his
awesome.
life.
Yeah.
damn,
King's Inc.
ultimate.
So this girl, she one of my clients actually gave his appointment to his friend to have her dog tattooed on her, and he hit me up and he was like, will you be cool about it if I give it to her? And I was like, yeah, bro. And then I gave him, I told him it'll be the same price about what you're paying, and then he hits me up. He was like, oh, she can't afford that. She can't afford that. And I was like, you know what? Because he told me like what it was for and what, for her dog that just passed and stuff. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I was like, I'll do it and stuff. And it was a color portrait. And right when I put the stencil on her, she broke down. She started crying and stuff. And I was like, damn, I know how this stuff feels, So right over, put a stencil. She broke down. That's when I started praying. I believe, like, I started praying. You know, I was praying to God, like, let me make sure that this tattoo comes out amazing for her. And I started praying and stuff, saying, asking God, let's make this thing amazing, please, God. You know, I put this tattoo, guide me with it. You know, and it's one of my favorite tattoos I've ever done.
Came
It
out
was a color
amazing.
portrait of a dog. That
Yeah.
It's crazy how, again, like we do this every day. So for us, it's just another tattoo, but
Yeah.
you don't know what
The meaning.
the meaning for that person is. And I mean, for you, it's that dog, right? For
Yeah.
other people, it's a little flower that represents the flower that that mom or his mom gave him every day, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I got another story that just happened this week. Same thing with me. I gave them a little lower than my full day session rate because the wife comes in, you know, she's pregnant with another baby, but in long story short, they lost a baby at 11 months due to this condition called I'm gonna
Is it SIDS?
no Georgia or something like that.
He told
Georgie.
us, I forgot.
But she came in. She says, "Hey, how much would it be for my husband to get Stairway to Heaven with a baby, you know, crawling up?" And I was like, "Oh man, this is deep already, you know."
Yeah.
And I said, "You know what? I like the story. I'm gonna lower it a little bit." I didn't. The price wasn't never a thing. That's just what at the moment I felt like I wanted to give them. They probably gotta pay the full day price, but the point is that I gave them that price. They were like, "Okay, cool." Well, the husband went to work. She comes back a couple days later and she's like, "Hey, it's his birthday coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna pay the deposit. You know, he doesn't know this is gonna happen. Can we make it happen?" I had a day off, a day during that week. I said, "All right, let's do it." They come in, the whole family, and he's telling me about how he lost his baby with this condition. It's a whole experience, right?
You just gave me the chills.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, this is a regular tattoo for me. Any other day I can draw it, right? But what I did is like, I didn't make it a regular tattoo. I made a full experience. Like I let her sit down next to him. We talked about it. We even brought, luckily it was a vlog day.
Yeah, we
So
had
we were
recorded it
able-
all.
So I asked him, can you talk about it? You know, we didn't force him to. He's like, you know what? I'm ready to talk about it. So we had him here literally where you guys are at. And we filmed it, and he talked about his whole experience of how he lost his baby at 11 months.
Fuck.
And he's like, you know what? I've never done this before. I never really talked. I talked to my family here and there, but I never really, and it feels good. And I'm like, boom, like tattoos help people.
Oh, yeah.
You get me?
Well,
and I gave him a really, really great piece. I, did a little story for the reels and stuff, and I sent it to him. And a lot of people are liking it because that's the realness of what happens
what we
here.
do.
Well, one thing his wife said is that she wanted him to get this tattoo, and she wanted to book this tattoo because she knew it would help him mourn that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He actually has somebody that he tattooed in the ashes with the ashes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never done that.
Yeah, I did that once for. So this is a crazy story. Okay, that my client, he hits me up like, "Hey, bro," because I posted it on my Instagram like I was selling one of my motorcycles, and he was like, "Hey, bro, how much are you selling it for?" And I told him the price. He was like, "Oh," I asked him, "Oh, do you ride?" He was like, "Nah, bro, it's for my brother," and it's crazy that his brother passed with a motorcycle accident. He didn't buy it from me, but he bought another motorcycle and he passed. And I asked him like, "Oh, so before that, I asked him when I was actually tattooing, I was about to tattoo him and stuff. And I asked him like, "Oh, so how did your brother pass?" And he told me, "Oh, he had a motorcycle accident and shit." And it's crazy that he hit me up for a motorcycle, but he couldn't afford the motorcycle, but he bought another one and he passed from it, And he asked me if I could do, and this is characters that they're both loved.
Got it.
They're both love these characters. So he asked me, could you put his ashes in my tattoo? And I told him, let's do it. If you want that, I'll do it. But I have to tell you that if something happens with the tattoo, it can't be liable with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put
Was
that
it on
in.
your word or did
Yeah,
you write
we
it on
have
a
to-
paper?
It was on
Yeah.
word and
Okay.
stuff, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
Everything went well and stuff. it healed up real nice and stuff. And he just got tattooed by me just recently too as well.
That's
And
dope.
I saw it healed up and it was all good. But it's yeah, like even us doing these anime characters, people think like they don't have story to them,
But they
but
do.
all of these,
all
every
have
single thing that they get is story. And they've told me like, oh, I'm getting this character because when I was little, I would watch this character and I see the development that where he went to and like how he never gave up, and that made me not want to give up on what I wanted to do and stuff, and I'm where I'm at because of that, you know. And it's the same thing with me. Like my favorite character is Vegeta. He's from Dragon Ball, and he's the second best character from the anime, right? Well, for me. Not for me, but like for others. But me is number one. But he was never the strongest character in the anime and stuff. But he freaking works his ass off because he was not the most talented, but he's the most hardworking, and that's how I feel I am. I'm not the most talented artist out there, you know, but I work my ass off to be where I'm at. You
Damn.
know, I don't
dope.
allow no no's to me. I force myself to let's do this, and I'm always constantly looking at other people's work to inspire me, to me better, because I'm always wanting to learn, and it's got me where I'm at because I'm always wanting to learn from other people and willing to learn from a person that only has a few months tattooing to a person that's been tattooing for their whole lives, kind of thing. I'm willing to learn, you know.
So he actually got to guest spot last year for Sad Fam, which is like one of the anime.
Like yeah, me and
one of the anime.
yeah,
Sad Fam?
Yeah, Sad
Yeah.
Fam. He's Mike. How's
Mike,
it been that?
Mike and Dazzle.
That
Mike
sounds
and Dazzle.
familiar.
Yeah.
He-
Mike
your-
and
your
Dazzle.
lights
He's
on.
like he's the guy of guys in the anime
Yeah.
community.
Okay.
You know, he's the guy who like is just
Yeah.
killing it.
I
Inspiring.
knew. As soon as you
You
said,
know?
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's
Is not the guy that he does like the Game Boys?
no,
No?
No,
that's Dan.
That's Dan.
That's Dan.
Oh,
This
okay.
guy
He's
always pops
amazing.
up on Explorer. Yeah.
So it's crazy because one of his artists actually drew for Blink 182.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he asked me to guest spot and stuff, and
In Florida?
yeah, in Florida, in
Nice,
Orlando,
bro.
in Orlando. So he asked me to guest spot and stuff, and I didn't have no days off to I didn't have
Make
no
it
days
happen.
off to make it happen, but I had my birthday off. So I said, you know what, bro? Like, I'll go for my birthday. You know, I went for my birthday week and shit, and I went to tattoo.
On your birthday.
on
Yeah,
my
I said
birthday.
go.
Because
You
it's
only get one
such- it was-
opportunity, you know?
It was such a big opportunity to like go and see them work and stuff, because they're the shop. They're the anime tattoo shop. You know, like they have so many heavy hitters in that shop, you know.
And the guys,
people I look up to, some of the people I look up to the most.
Were you
know?
nervous tattooing there?
No.
No?
Because when I'm the tattooing aspect of it,
Pretty confident.
I'm pretty confident where I'm at and what I do for the black and gray anime that I do. If I would have done color in that shop, that would have been like petrified. I would have been like trembling and being all scared about it. But I was doing black.
Did you
and gray
learn
stuff.
some tricks from some
Oh,
of them?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
some of the guys
I'm
at our
always
shop
learning.
were like, take me in your suitcase.
Yeah, they because they know how big of a
Yeah.
opportunity it is to go and learn from
That's
them
dope.
and stuff.
And that's
like
very
that.
inspirational
when-
that you're the shop owner and you get to do that, and your artists are like, man.
Yeah,
One
even
thing- one
even
thing he
before
did
that
tell
though,
him-
like even before that, he actually when I was about to open up my shop, and because we both opened the shop together at almost the same times, he hit me up about possibly going to work with him and stuff. And that was like I told him when I first met him at the Anime Expo, I told him, bro, you have no idea how big of a flex that is for me, for you to even tell me that you're interested in me joining your team. And that's not even him hiring me and shit. That was just him telling me like, yeah, it would be dope to have you here.
What's the shop called?
Sad
Sad
Fam.
Fam.
But it's
Sad
with an
Fam.
X Sad
I know there's
Fam.
another shop in Florida that does all anime, and there's I don't know, they do like
It's they're in Orlando, I think.
they're
Right?
like a bar and anime or something like that.
Really?
We follow them on Iconic.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I'm not sure what it's called though.
Yeah, but it's look at the color compositions.
It's
It's
Yeah,
dope.
he's
It's
amazing. He's what, and it's crazy because like I was telling you about, he's a guy who actually looks up to like Simon K. Bell, which is an artist in England and stuff, or
He's
in
sick.
Europe and stuff, and he's amazing. And he looks up to that fool, you know, and it's freaking cool that even in, like I said, in the anime community, I have felt and seen that we don't have these big heads that we're not willing to say like, oh, I look up to this guy, I look up to that guy, because we're always all about like, we're anime community.
I think
you know?
let's touch on that because we're talking about this over the phone, right? When we're talking, like I feel like we were talking about conventions, right?
Yeah.
That the little bit of experience that I've went through, I felt like there's cliques of people
Definitely clicks.
in the black and gray community where like you want to go and say hi to somebody, but if you don't know you, they're just gonna be like, I'm sorry, man, but they're definitely, you know, chit chatting within everybody else. You see the sponsored artist from X company, you know.
You have to have a game plan.
Yeah, and it's definitely what is I want to say? It's like a obstacle.
Yeah.
To definitely just go and say, you know what, I follow your work, thank you. You know.
Like network.
Yeah, and you had stated that that's not how it is in conventions for anime, right? Everybody's like nerding out.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
One person, like a big artist like Mike or something, or JP, they can go to somebody and see their work and they'll be like, dude, that's dope. They'll go up to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to like try to go up to them. They'll go walk around.
They walk around the whole
because
convention.
they're people that love anime too. So they're going to the conventions to see what other people are doing, and they'll go up to you and be like, dude, that's dope. That's cool.
They'll share their knowledge with you.
They'll share some
Wow.
stories
So
and
you know,
stuff.
like
And
that competition kind of feel.
Like the guy that I look up to is Ink Santos and Cody Ellis, and I was able to experience Cody
So,
Ellis'
like-
tattoo. And he was like, "Come here, come over here. I'm gonna show you a few things."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Like she stood behind him for like half of the tattoo and stuff, seeing what he's doing, and like,
Can you imagine if he's just, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's just tattooing and you've been wanting to see this guy and he doesn't even acknowledge you, just like, oh, hey. And then that's it.
Yeah.
How would you know what I mean?
I
like
would feel
the
like
experience.
crummy. I would honestly possibly go cry or something. But,
Yeah, for real. Like I would feel like that if David Vega looked at me and is like,
but it's crazy because
So-
honestly, that's what
shout out David Vega.
I had gone already to like a Golden State, and I did see like a
What was
light.
your experience there?
It was wild because that's where I ran for Soul and Angels, and I was able like the whole convention smelled like alcohol,
Yeah.
and I mean it was fun. It was very fun.
And at the anime, there's no alcohol or what?
nah, it's not like that.
coffee?
It's different.
And Slurpees? Or what?
It's
No,
like-
I'm just-
and
I'm
tea.
like I'm saying, like
It's tea.
I used to do conventions all the time when I was younger, when in my early years and stuff, because I feel like you have to do conventions when your early years to get your name out there, like for people from other states, or like you want to go to a state and get some actually work right there to do that, you know. But so I've been through like the Villains Art and like Body Art Expo and all that kind of stuff like that. I've been to those conventions, and when you go to the anime expos, it's like night and day.
That's
Like
even-
completely night and day.
That's even crazy that there's a convention for that style.
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying
And
to
it's
bring
huge.
it out here too.
It's huge and stuff.
Yeah.
We would
you guys
love
should.
to have something like that in
Yeah.
the West Coast and stuff, and that's what
Create something, bro.
we were
We're
trying to do.
trying.
We're
You know what I'm
trying
saying?
to
It's under our
and stuff. Like,
sleeves.
we were.
Under the making.
It's something that we're really looking into doing something like that, but like it's always been a respect factor with me. I just don't want to step on people's toes, and I know that it shouldn't be like that.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it
Fuck that,
shouldn't-
bro.
yeah, it
Why?
shouldn't be like
Think
that,
about it.
but-
Like I don't like when people say that. Like I get the respect factor, you know, respect to the people that done it before. But if you want to create something that you feel it's needed, do it, dude, and just do it with the right intention. Don't
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
We can.
Because maybe some people want to do that, but they don't have the time or the money or the resources
or
to do
the
it.
idea. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes we gotta
I've
just do
been-
that, you know.
We've been talking about that stuff and stuff like that, but it's just like I said, it's the respect factor, and we'll see what happens
Yeah.
if
No, I get it.
we go
I
to
get
that
it.
route and stuff.
But you know, don't we have to break barriers at
Yeah.
times. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
sometimes there's gonna be one artist that's gonna be like, "What the fuck, dude? Why are you doing that?" You know?
Yeah.
But we have to break those barriers.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna please everybody.
That's true.
Simple as that.
There's always
You
gonna
know?
be somebody upset. Yeah.
That's true.
sadly.
That's true. You know?
But yeah, like I was saying, it's completely different. Like a lot of the guys that we go to the anime expos, like I said, they go up to you. They
I'm curious to go to one.
Yeah,
It's
it's fun.
fun,
Though. It's
yeah.
really, really fun. Like you don't like, especially with us, like the anime community, we don't feel judged. We don't feel, oh, they're gonna call us this, they're gonna call us that,
Yeah.
you know. And um,
I feel like it not only you had the barrier, the stigma of getting into a tattoo business. Now you have to go into another barrier of getting approval from other tattoo artists to do your style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a subsection, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you guys are pretty like
Well, that's one thing I wanted
interesting.
to ask. Like, how's it feel from going to an idea of having just the idea of having an anime studio to actually having now the first anime studio in Inland Empire?
it's amazing. Like, well, from where it started,
Mhm.
like how it went from that. So, like I said, at first, I did 100% wanted to do anime tattoo shop because I knew how anime artists were, and I knew how I was, and I wanted that around me. I wanted all my nerds together kind of thing, you know.
Mhm.
Like I wanted us to just bond, and like I said, that I was getting my nose, and then I was gonna make a black and gray shop, and then my artist told me, "No, let's do it only anime," and we just pushed it. You know, there's no other way of doing anything else but just pushing what you want and going after for what you want, and we made it happen. We made it happen and stuff.
When you say, yeah, you know, I just want to nerd out about it, I think we do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nobody describes it as that because in black and gray community right here, we're like, oh man, check out this guy. Smooth. Look at that contrast. And look at
Yeah.
the tones. Look at that texture. We're nerding out on that
Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just nobody applies that nerd factor to the black and gray, only to like the comics. So we're all doing the same thing. Nerding out means all it is just means niching out.
I think
Yeah.
for us, it's more like, that's cool, fool.
Yeah.
So another word for nerds is weebs.
Weebs?
Weebs.
Damn, you're
Yeah.
putting us up
already-
on game. Woofu and weebs. What's up?
Waifu and weebs.
Or what is
yeah.
it? Waifu?
Waifu.
Waifu.
Yeah. So he can have as many waifus as he wants.
Cool, man. So now that I wanted to highlight something, like when Steve told me, "Hey, check out this guy," you know, and I opened up your page, I was like, all anime, right? I was like, well, I don't know how we can relate to this guy at first, right? But I was like, no, like this is art. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is art, and this is a very good story of how we can talk about how you just can go super niche in your style and be a success, right? So bringing that, let's talk about like the business side of it. You know what I'm saying? And business side meaning like how do you take care of your employees and everything? Like what's your guys' model? Both of you maybe I can ask both of you about how do you guys view your your coworkers, artists, and your shop?
As family.
And
I
she
feel, yeah.
she always says, and it's from me too, because the way I came up with Killer really did make it about like if we were a true family kind of thing, we would go to each other's events, like kids parties and all that stuff like that. We'll have a Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving kind of stuff like that. We'll all have that, you know.
Do you guys?
So I brought that into our shop. That's what I wanted, you know. I wanted us to have those dinners together, be friends with each other and stuff. And it's hard sometimes to separate it, but we have to, you know.
But let's keep it real, right? You guys are owners
Yeah.
for 2 years already. I'm pretty sure you guys came across some artists that just weren't cut out for your
Yeah.
style,
Yeah,
right? Without mentioning people, obviously,
No,
you know.
no.
Yeah, it's happened that
Yeah.
we've had
Sadly,
to like
yeah.
let go of people and
Yeah.
stuff, and people have gone from us. And
It's very hard because we're very loving people. So I feel like as first times like letting go of people, it's like, oh man, like no, you do it. I know you do it. You know.
well, she knew that when it comes down to like I'm the softer of both of us of character, but I get like I get vicious when I have to. you
Yeah,
know?
like he's a big teddy bear,
Yeah,
but when
I'm
he
like-
has to get to that point,
Yeah, there's certain levels to it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
certain
Josh.
levels.
She's
mean,
a
I'm-
softie. I'm more of like I wear my emotions on my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's bugging me, I'm gonna tell you. 'Cause
Oh,
or
yeah,
else
for
I'm
sure.
gonna-
That's-
confrontational.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
straight
I'm
up.
just like, you know, because or else I'm gonna act a certain way, and then you're gonna feel it. So I might as well just tell you right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You know
the
what I'm
best
saying?
way.
When
It
I
is the best
opened
way.
the shop, I said, you know, growing up, like when you have a normal job, you just go there and you work and that's it. You know, I don't want people to come into the shop and be like, all right, I'm done with my shift, guys. Bye. Like it's you want to be able to have good conversations with people. Like that's how you vibe. You know,
Yeah.
it's how the shop runs. Clients come in here and they're like, oh shit, people are actually talking to each other. You
Preach,
know,
girl.
rather than like just tattooing and going home. You know,
Exactly, and that's why we always say here, you're not forced to be here.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't see that you're really genuinely in here, we're gonna have that conversation with you and be like, maybe this ain't the place for you anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
so
and that's why we started that thing is because right now we're still looking for like what 2 artists.
We have one
we're at
artist.
one artist. But I always had this rule like we have to make them guest spot first before we offer them the position. That way everybody else feels a vibe.
Yeah,
And-
we ask our artists too. Like right after, we'll be
What do
asking
you
them like,
think?
how did you feel with them?
Yeah.
Like, what did you think about them? You know?
but you know they're gonna. I'm sorry, but you know they're gonna be cookie cutter for like the first 3 months, bro. After
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
they're always gonna be on. They're gonna be on time. After 3 months, you see the true people.
And you would think that, but it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
We've had
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We've had a few
that.
instances,
But
but-
it is what it is, and of course there won't be the people that we go after, you know. But the people that we do go after are the people that they're friendly, they talk to their clients real well, they're respectful towards people, because that's one of the things. Like I said, it's all about respect. You know, if you don't have respect for your client, you're not gonna have respect for the shop. You're not gonna respect me as a person.
Customer
you know?
Like
service.
I have clients. I'm really big on customer service. Like if somebody would have already disrespected a girl or something, they would have been fired a long time ago. And I always tell my female clients, and I've had girls that would tell me, "Hey, you know, like I feel so comfortable here."
Yeah.
Like, sadly, I feel like men sometimes like have a really bad reputation in the tattoo community because of some other
Stories,
tattoo
yeah.
asshole that messed it up for everybody else.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. I feel like every artist is themselves, and like I feel nowadays, you know, you're more than welcome to feel comfortable whatever you feel like, you know.
Yeah, with our shop, I really do feel like we have every aspect of different people come into our shop, and we
Different
want
diversity.
we want them to come into our shop and
Feel comfortable.
feel comfortable, feel safe. You know, that
That's very main for us too.
Yeah, that's
because-
something that I've always wanted from even my artists to know. Like, let's always be respectful towards people. You know, and let's just not offend people. That's something us as anime artists, we don't want to do that, because
Right.
we're not like that either. You know, most of us, like I said, we were the guys that used to get bullied because of what we liked. You know, so now that we're grown up, we know that we don't want that for our clients. We don't want that for the people that come to our shop. You know.
So I always buy snacks for my clients. Like I have a huge setup in the front
Yeah.
because you know not a lot of clients know like they're supposed to eat before a tattoo.
Yeah.
He's actually had a client pass out on him.
Yeah,
It's kind of scary.
we have.
Well, fool,
Yeah, we
he
have.
calls me the Mike Tyson of the shop.
Why? Oh, you
You knock them out.
Two people
Like 5
passed out on me.
Yeah.
But it's because their blood sugar was low. But it just happened fucking 2 weeks in between.
Yeah, he has crazy stories, and
Yeah.
one of the stories is I guess like Killer Shop. Some guy fell and like almost broke his nose or something
Yeah.
like that.
It happens like that. It comes to
But yeah, I think it's very important because also having that medical background, I'm like, okay, are you like, do you want soda? Do you want this? Like, I always make sure that we're stocked on food and like snacks,
Yeah,
just for the
snacks.
clients can
Yeah,
have.
it's
So
for that.
it's
Keep their
very-
blood sugar
yeah.
high.
So I told him like, I'm gonna bring a BP cuff that way, and he's like, you're being too extra.
Yeah,
like
you need to-
A what?
a blood pressure cuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Got
So I
a little
can take
extra.
everybody's blood pressure, you know.
Yeah, that anybody that comes to our shop, like it's on Friday, like I just bought pizza for everybody, because it's just like that. It's like every day one of my other artists will say, "Oh, you guys want food?" And then I'll ask my client, "Do you want something too? I'll pay for it."
Yeah,
Don't
we
worry."
feed our clients.
You know what I feel is a need right now that you said with the nursing background?
Yeah.
There is nobody that, because I would like to hire somebody to come in and talk to our artists for an hour about the bloodborne pathogens procedures, because
Yeah.
we do it certification online, right? But I would like somebody in the medical field that's up to date, current, can just talk about like surfaces and
importance.
infections and all that. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Cross-contamination.
like that should be somebody who should start something and just go around shops and
Yeah,
you know,
and just
pay them
educating.
$300 for an hour or something.
Just educating the
You know?
tattoo artists,
There you
because
go.
a lot of the times
For your nurse.
they
Do
don't
you
know.
really do it though? Like, do artists really do their bloodborne pathogens, or do they have their wives do it?
That's me. I do the blood.
You do it for all?
Well,
Dude,
I already know the answer. So I'm like,
so after
Like,
you
oh,
do
A,
it,
B, A, A.
after you do it for a few years and stuff, and I used to do double sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, people pay me to do it. I was like, okay, let's do
now
it.
he
I'm
pays
down.
me. Shit.
So
There you go.
now I pay her. You know, do it, baby, because you know I already
But
got this.
do you do you oversee your artists at times, like just, or do you have full trust on them as far as their procedures? Or
Oh, they know. They've been in the game for a while. They know what they're supposed to do and stuff.
Yeah.
so you trust them completely?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we trust them completely. It's more of the younger ones that
Right, that's what I mean. Like when they summon
Yeah.
in, do you
Yeah.
do you like just kind of observe and make
yeah,
sure that they
observe,
do
for
that,
sure,
and then
yeah.
do you call them out on stuff like
Well,
that?
yeah, I'll let them know like, hey, you should put a glove for that. You should do that for that.
Like the main
do this
thing
for
is
that.
for us is not having food in the artist section. Like it's okay to have drinks. So we put up a sign, and then also kids, because huge liability. Like
Yeah,
if something
course.
happens to a baby, like or like kid, we don't obviously want to be responsible for that. So I think it's very important, like putting up signs.
But
that
my
way,
son is
you
an
know.
exception.
Well, it's his shop. You
Well,
know?
yeah, exactly. Same thing. My kids are here. They're not running around.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they're in the
Yeah.
back. They're, you know, they just hang out over there. You might hear a yell or two fighting from them. But as far as kids here, if they can be on their iPads and they
Yeah,
can be sitting
they're
down
fine.
there, go ahead, handle it. I'm not gonna be like, there's no kids.
Yeah.
But we had instances where like the kids like doing cartwheels from over there to over here, you know.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
so-
If the health department comes in, that's like a huge fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
if as long as they're cool.
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
cool.
it's like I said, it's every in case, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool, man.
so we have like huge knives actually at the shop.
Oh yeah,
but
like
they're,
swords.
Swords.
Yeah,
What
they're
the
like
hell?
swords from the.
we have a
anime.
machete. Does that count as a knife?
That brings me back to the Jose Luis Censuras with the machete. Did you ever
Machete?
see that?
Yeah. Machete.
Yeah.
Machete. Yeah, we call that the eraser. So if you don't like the tattoo
Oh,
here,
you don't have
Yeah.
the money.
we'll
for
go.
it?
We'll go. We'll go. All right. Let me know if you don't like it.
Someone just did a meme on that. Like someone's like, "Oh, the card is declining." Like, "Oh, really?" Bring out the sander. I'm like, "Wait, I got it." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, that cheese
it
grater
declined.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I just have to move money around, you know. We asked a lot of our interviewers some questions we care, you know, we want to know about them as far as that. But one that I always want to ask is, how do you guys, besides being shop owners, how do you guys envision the tattoo industry in the next 10 to 15 years?
Thriving for sure.
Yeah, thriving. I feel like the tattoo industry is gonna be amazing because I see all the people that are actually getting into it and how fast they're growing. Like I said, the stuff that she's doing, the stuff that our other apprentice Sam is doing, it's far beyond better than I ever did during that little time. I would say their skill level is what they've shown me so far is 3-4 years me into it. So I could see like, and I've already seen it too, like these artists, like we're in the generation that amazing artists are actually getting into tattooing because they know that they can make a living off of it,
Yeah.
you know, and they actually have a passion towards art. So they use it, you know, so I could see it keep on growing and getting amazing. Like I've already see it. We already see like the stuff that people are tattooing. We're like that 10 years ago never would have happened.
But also too, tattoos is becoming more common now.
And
Like more
accepted.
accepting. Like I guess military guys weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah,
and
for a
now-
while, military.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
heard that sheriffs, right, were
They're
allowed to
to
get
now?
more.
Certain
right?
cities are allowing them
Certain
to go.
cities.
Yeah, so it's
short
becoming more
sleeve.
accepting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to what you have said earlier that hopefully in the future they'll be more accepting of us being in better places.
Yeah, better
Yeah.
locations
Yeah.
and stuff.
Our goal is like we were talking about. One day we're gonna have a big store right there in Victoria Gardens.
Imagine,
Oh, yeah.
imagine the
So-
tattoo shop and like the aesthetics has to be on point.
Oh,
first
yeah.
of all,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
the clientele has to be, you know, you can't be smoking weed out there.
Yeah, of
They're gonna
course.
kick you out right away, you know. So, in order to build a brand that can be, because think about it, let's play it out. If I go and I call the property manager there and I say, hello, you know, I would like to take over this spot here that I
Yeah.
saw. Yeah, what would you like to do? Oh, I would like to do a tattoo studio. I'm like,
First thing
no.
that comes to their head is a shop with like flash all over,
Yeah.
bikers in the front.
You know what I'm
Weed,
saying?
Yeah.
They'll be like, no,
drugs.
thank you. You know, Starbucks won't allow that. Lululemon's not gonna,
Yeah.
you know.
Gucci.
But by us building a brand on social media with these podcasts and the blogs that we're doing, we're gonna be like, you know, well, check out our brand. You know, check out what kind of clientele comes
Yeah.
in. You know, we're going for the type of clients that walk into Victoria Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then that can be considered. So we have to put in that work. You can't just go over there and just say because I got money.
No,
You
yeah.
know, you have to build a brand.
You have to
So
network.
how are you guys? You guys are doing a great job at building a brand as a niche tattoo shop. What else do you guys do as far as that to continue on that brand?
Well, we're trying to do more things with the.
I noticed about. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the marketing part, you know.
Yeah.
So I want to thank my friend Halbert. He's the one that does mostly like our videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just started doing
Because we
that.
know how important that actually
Yeah,
is.
reels.
You know, like the reels,
Reels
the
are
way to
very
go.
important.
the media stuff. You know, like if we don't have that, we don't have that like eye grabbers. You know,
I started
on
doing
our
this thing
pages.
with like the guys hate me for it, but it's a tiny microphone where I go around asking them questions.
Super smart.
They
You know, we were just
fucking
talking
hate me
about
for
that.
it, but
Yeah.
it like people enjoy it because they get to see like their side, their goofy,
Yeah.
their answers, and that's what one of the guys at the shop said was like, well, nobody knew how I looked until you started posting me, and I was like, well, like
That's the biggest conversation we've had, and I've had it with my friend Richie, and he's always listening to podcasts, so he's gonna hear this, and he's always like,
Shout out,
"You were
Richie."
right, you're right." Like, I hate that you're right, but you have to show your face nowadays.
Yeah.
You can't just have a page with just your tattoos.
Yeah.
People want to know who they're gonna get tattooed by.
yeah. And like, there's people that, because unfortunately, like I said earlier, like one person ruins for the other. They want to make sure that this person's not like a
creeper.
Yeah, creeper, you know? I don't want to say that, but thank
Yeah.
you.
And I think by you telling all this stuff and you curate your own clients.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like by you saying, if you're a family man, you care about your son, his growth, his education, you care about your anime. You're going to start getting clients that, guess what? They have kids too.
Yeah.
Guess what? They like anime. Guess what? They like cars.
Yeah.
And guess what? They like tattoos. So you're going to be like, it's funny how we have so much in common. Yeah, because you're posting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I'm relating to that. So if you just post tattoos, you're going to get the people that just want the tattoo.
Yeah.
But then when you talk to them for 8 hours, what's going to happen? You're just going to be like looking at each other
dry-ass
like,
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
so, you know, you got kids? No. You like cars? No.
You know,
know?
that's something that's really cool about the anime communities. Like once we start up on anime, we start like, oh, what's your favorite anime? And then they'll go into it, like really go into it and like why they into it.
Bro.
And that's something that with the anime community, we're just like that, bro. We're straight, like, oh, this is my favorite character. Why is it your favorite character? And then tell you the full stories about it.
Gamers too.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
my
So
boy,
that's-
It's literally
John,
the same thing.
Yeah,
Same
with us.
thing.
Yeah,
Look.
with us.
I got a client that did a whole God of War theme on him.
Ooh.
Right. And then he came in and he started doing some more work on his chest. And I talked to him about, I got into The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah.
And then he's like, bro, that's a game. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no. And then we started watching the whole series here.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, they're doing that? That's different to the show. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's so awesome that he's
Yeah.
like so involved in it. I'm like, what more better experience can I give this guy?
Yeah.
You know? And you guys are multiplying it by 8 of you guys.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we
That's dope.
love it, man. We love it.
dope.
Like I said, we love it, you know?
And do you see like different like shapes and forms of people going to you? Like, I mean, if I saw you on the street, bro, I wouldn't think you were into anime.
No,
Let's be
same
honest.
thing.
So it's crazy when my mom
Yeah.
met him. He was like, "You're with a gangster. I'm so disappointed." And then she saw him seeing anime. She's
That
like,
was,
never mind.
dude, that was back in the day when I just had like a little goatee, like a little mustache and shit. And yeah,
He
I
looks like
see
a
it.
gangster. He looks
I
scary.
take
you
off
know?
my hat and stuff, and you see all me blasted with my head.
Oh yeah,
and
his
stuff,
head is
so,
tattooed and everything.
So I
Yeah,
get it,
bro.
and then I have I don't know words that I put
Yeah.
my face tattoo and stuff. So I get it, but yeah, like I'm just a big ass nerd.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big ass nerd that.
So you can have like a cholo right there next to like a nerdy kid that's like getting tattooed the same tattoo and they're like bonding.
yeah.
Exactly,
Oh yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly like
You'll,
that.
you'll
It's
see some
crazy.
person that you know they're into anime,
Yeah.
and then you see the bro. Like for a while, I was tattooing guys that were like super fit, super like all this stuff, and they'll tell me like person that you never think that they'll be into anime, right? And then they told me that I started working out because of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Because
snap.
seeing that their
Damn.
physiques, I wanted to be that buff. I wanted to be
They
like
look
that.
they're on
I'm getting
steroids.
into anime now. I don't know. That's going to pump me up. Yeah.
Well, you
yeah.
have your personal trainer, so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do, but that's a whole different topic.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Leg day today.
Yeah.
He's
But
like, pause.
yeah, you see,
Very
you
buzz.
see all different types of people come in with us and stuff. Like it's cool. I love seeing it from, like I said, from like those 18-year-old kids to the 30-something-year-old guy and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy to see how many people love anime and how many people are willing to like just get it tattooed on them forever.
I think in all that I'm hearing you is everybody's attracted to the story the story. The anime has stories. Because I asked this to my brother, why do you even watch this?
They can relate to it.
It's the story. The storyline
Yeah.
is such good.
Yeah.
You know, there are gonna be movies about this.
Yeah.
There
That
probably is movies already about it.
or honestly, I seen that it's not just the story that's part of it, but also for those older generations, it's like what they remember from watching
Yep.
that when they're
Yeah,
young.
very
Nostalgic.
nostalgic.
Very
Nostalgia.
nostalgic.
So we recently went to the McDonald's museum, and he saw back in the day, like, yes, he had a Spider-Man who was like 19 something.
1995, there's a Spider-Man that I used to carry around everywhere with me. I used to tie this little string, and a little boy, I used to play with it, you know, because we didn't have the most money in the world and stuff, but that was the toy that I had, you know, and this is one thing I can say about my clients and our
They're
clients
very
and stuff.
giving.
They're very giving, because he saw that in my story, and he was getting tattooed by one of my other artists, and he came up with me and stuff like, here in the package,
He almost
that
started
toy,
crying.
that toy, that 1995 toy
That's crazy.
that I posted, and I legit, like, I teared up a little bit. I was like, dude, you have no idea how much this means to me, because Spider-Man was everything too, you know?
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
most of the things that we have at our shop are things that most of our clients have given us. So
Yeah,
we hang
they're-
up everything, and
That's dope.
yeah, so
yeah,
they're
they've
very
given us
giving.
a lot of gifts and stuff, like, and expensive stuff, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
expensive stuff. Like, they gave me a Hypeland rug. One of my clients gave me a Hypeland rug. One of my clients gave me a big ass statue that's cost a lot of money, you know?
I'm gonna start
And-
talking about rollies.
All we get is bottles.
I gotta stop posting about bottles.
Nah, that's crazy, man. I mean, yeah, like your clients feel that connection when they're with you, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I feel like you building that trust with them, not just by like giving them food,
Mm-hmm.
but talking to them and all that. Again, going back to the nostalgia kind of feeling, it all comes around in a circle.
Oh, big
You know,
time.
just building
Big
that
time.
bond.
Big
Yeah,
time.
big time. I think it's very important, because otherwise it's going to be a very awkward tattoo session. And I don't think we want that. And sometimes you want to be able to have a good conversation with the client. And for the most part, I feel like we're their therapists.
Yeah.
You know?
We are.
Yeah.
You know, any client service that does it, whether it's nails, tattoos, hair, barbers, because I love barbering as well. We all have to have that personal space with them, and then if they break down their barriers with you, they'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they just need an ear for them, and that's what
Yeah.
we have. You know.
I think we've all had that situation when you do have that client you don't have a connection with. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like,
Big time.
It's a
All
little
my
awkward,
clients.
but
I've left barbers because like they don't really interact.
Yeah.
And their hair was really good, but I was like, well, I mean, you know, what are we gonna talk about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
rub my ear the way I like it. I'm just kidding.
Barbering is the same game. Same game. You know, it's about getting that client, building a relationship, and for the long run, you
Yeah.
know. That's
for
it.
sure. That trust, building that trust.
I always tell a lot of artists, man, like you cannot tattoo more than like 200 people a year if you're gonna do like full days, right? If you're aiming for that, you can't physically. You can't.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to like stress yourself out to try to get 10,000? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just focus on getting a rotation of clients that you're gonna connect with, and you're gonna see that that's it. You're gonna see John, you know,
Yeah.
3 times this year. You're gonna see Sam 10 times this year. Remember them, build a relationship with them, and that's it.
Because it's an experience at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you can't tattoo everybody in the world, so why stress that? Just stress on, or just focus on building your small community that messes with you, and bam, you'll be success.
I could even tell you with that, okay, that I actually have a client, Miguel, which he's a dope ass client.
We all love him at the shop.
He didn't have no tattoos the first time I tattooed him, no tattoos, and it was because he never found the artist that he wanted. Right, he didn't find the anime tattoo shop kind of thing. He found me, and I've already did his full sleeve. One of my other artists is doing his full leg sleeve, and he's already pretty much already done. I did his lower leg already, his lower leg or his upper leg. He has his full back already booked out with me, his full back and his full chest booked out with me, and his other half sleeve booked out with me. And he was saying, I was just waiting to find the right person.
Yeah.
And now that I found your shop, he's ready for everything, and he's getting a lot of work. Like I said, everything happened, like his full sleeve. I did it in 2 to 3 months, his full sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's those clients
Yeah.
we want. You know, the clients that are looking to collect, and those clients that are willing to pay our prices, you know. And
It's all respect all around. It's always a
Yeah.
good vibe. You want to bring something creative to the process. They're like, I'm with it. It's all
Yeah.
flows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you multiply that, you know, if you get let's say you have your 5 Miguel's a month,
yeah.
bro, you
That's all
know,
you need.
that's all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need 1,000 Miguel's. You know what I'm saying? You can't physically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But every artist should build their brand to get those Miguel's.
And
Yeah.
at
Shout
that
out
point,
to
it's
Miguel.
like you guys are just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't
We're
feel like
hanging
you're
out and
working.
getting tattooed.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And then the tattoo flies so much faster when you're just
Yeah.
having a conversation. He's like, "Well, you take forever," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." Like, there's this girl that always comes in.
Yeah, they have fun. They're having fun. They're talking and stuff, and
We
they just don't even
laugh.
realize, like, they don't realize that there's tattooing, that she's tattooing and stuff, because they just have this connection.
I think for us, what really helped us lately is the vlogs, because I've noticed that we get clients in here that they come for Ricky, but they already know everybody else
Yeah.
from the vlogs, so they just go over there and talk to them,
Yeah.
talk to Romeo, talk
That's
to
good.
me.
We
You
have
guys should
clients
start a
like that
vlog.
too, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
guys should
we're
start a
working
vlog.
on
No,
it.
we actually
It'll
we're
be
already
so
been talking
dope, you know
about
what I'm
it
saying?
for a
'Cause
while and
We
stuff.
just don't have nowhere to do it at.
No vlogs, babe.
Vlog, just
Vlogs
like
are the
a
everyday
day in the life type,
Oh,
like
okay,
a
okay,
novela, like
Basically,
I'm
like you
telling
do
you.
on your stories.
Yeah.
You know how you do on your stories,
Yeah.
but do it on long content for YouTube.
Uh,
And you'll notice, like, when people come in, they feel like they already know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already have something to talk about. You get that perfect client for yourself.
and you don't have to be acting. You just
Be
one
you.
day it can
Yourself,
be,
yeah.
nobody's tattooing but me. So guess what? It's about me today. That's what happened to me the other day. You know, we're being real.
Yeah.
Other days I'm like putting the mic on right here, and I'm like, hold on, guys, I'm putting on the mic. We're just real, and it comes across through the screen onto YouTube. And then guess what? People are gonna come later, and they're gonna be like, "You are exactly how I see you."
And then
You
they
know?
can see, like, not every day is perfect. Like, some days we're off, some days we're going through some shit, and they
Yeah.
see it on the camera, and they're like, okay, that's how. People understand, like, your moods at that point. They're like, okay, he's having,
A bad
yeah,
day.
he's bad
Yeah.
day. We'll chill, you know. But again, it's like,
And it's a way to reaching other people too.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Reaching other people and people to know who you are and that connection. I get it. I completely get it. I've been wanting to do it for a while and stuff. Because,
You know, whenever you're ready, you know what I'm saying? Because not
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
going for. Then now, once the camera's in your face,
Oh, yeah.
you just kind of get a little.
But it's crazy because most of our artists are introverts. Or-
Everybody
Yeah,
is.
Everybody is.
yeah.
Everybody's nobody's used to having a camera in your face.
Yeah, he's
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
I'm
So-
introvert.
yeah. So when I go to them with the microphone for a while, I had to do like 4 or 5 takes.
Yeah.
And they would hate me for it, and I'm like, just go for it, you
Yeah.
know. And people are like, "Oh, I saw the videos. Like, I didn't know he looked like that. He's so cool, you know." So now they know
Exactly.
who they are.
Well, you know, one thing
Exactly.
Carlos was doing for a while in the beginning, he was just recording with the camera right here on the low, so they don't think they're on there. You know, they're shooting at. Remember that?
Shout out to you.
And it's an art. Also, it's a skill for a cameraman to kind of go in and break the ice.
Yeah.
You know, because the last thing is be like, oh, hold on, say that again so we can get that. No,
Yeah.
you just go in casually. He's really good at that. He used at first he wasn't, but then as we started talking, and we're like, you got to catch us when you ever notice when we're first starting to do the full day session, we don't want to be bothered. We're focused. We want to know how we're gonna attack the game plan.
Yeah.
We want to just get going, right? And I told him, don't come in at that time. Come in when after you see we started the tattoo after 2-3 hours. We're more relaxed. We're talking, but you notice the first hours everybody's quiet.
Yeah, because it's
we're
like
zoned
yeah,
in.
especially when you're putting on a freaking stencil.
Yeah, exactly.
know?
You don't. The last thing you want to do is erase that shit
Yeah.
and put it back on and be like, "The fuck out of here, Carlos." You know. But it's about studying how it is, and he learned that
Yeah.
to a T, and that's why our blogs with him were amazing. You know.
And now the other media guy we have too, he's learning that right
Yeah,
now.
he's
too.
learning that right now. So he hired somebody to help him. He comes and does it now because he's too busy now. He's too bougie.
Okay, Carlos, I see you.
You know. So now he has to learn ours, and he's willing to. You know what I'm saying? But that's where we are. But
yeah,
It's a good way to market for real.
Yeah.
what are your
That's-
guys' ambitions for? I'm sorry to
The
interrupt
shop?
you.
No, it's okay. The shop.
Yeah.
So I have this crazy.
Tell us, because we have a crazy one too.
We love
So-
crazy ideas.
I love bringing my crazy ideas to life because he knows that. So my envision for our tattoo shop would be opening a huge warehouse where we can have an anime clothing line, and then at the beginning when you walk into the shop, it'd be like a library, a sense, but of mangas. You guys know what mangas
Yeah.
are? of all. So then the receptionist would be able to open the door to like a secret hideaway too, the tattoo shop
Oh,
and
get
the
out.
store.
Yeah.
Little speakeasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little speakeasy, but everything legal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And then to have our own photo studio or like podcast studio, like a whole ass warehouse. Like I have dreams and
Yeah,
I want to make
that's
them
the
come
dreams
true.
and stuff. That's
You know
really
what?
the dreams.
That what you just said there is you're describing that you see this as being a bigger experience,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we want.
Yeah.
We want to get a warehouse. Forget these little like
Yeah.
sweet shit.
Oh,
know,
no,
we
friggin'
want to
thing.
get a warehouse where it's roll up doors and shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's. Matter of fact, shout out to HB Media. I just saw that he got a contract with the Surgeon.
I know him.
You know him?
Yeah.
We I tattooed him, and
Oh,
he
no
comes
way.
and films sometimes.
Small
So
world.
he got the contract for this shoe company called the Surgeon, and I saw his warehouse. Amazing, like the aesthetics.
What does he do?
The Surgeon,
does-
he
Yeah.
repairs shoes. He designs shoes. He builds them.
Oh.
And if you go on there, you're gonna see his warehouse, and it's exactly tailored. He has shoes in these bubbles, and it's very cool.
What?
But that's what we want to do. We want a
Yeah.
warehouse where there's a lounge, there's a barista
Yeah.
for coffee.
That's
Yeah.
You
funny.
know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
Going
the
back-
aesthetic,
Going
yeah.
back to the
maybe
coffee.
a pool table. You know what I'm saying? But we want to add something else to it. We were thinking we're gonna add a barbershop.
There you
And
go.
then we're gonna, in order to keep it legal, we gotta do glass walls.
yeah,
Maybe
separate the both.
separate the both. So that's our envision. So the way you're thinking about this, it's about the
Yeah.
experience. People want something different now.
Yeah, because when I that grew out of me because we went to a trip to Miami and we ran into a shop that was a barber shop / coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they had it built was it was glass where people that come get coffee, they can see people like doing hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was so cool, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
'cause
something like that."
Originally, we planned to do that, and then we're like, we don't need like no walls or nothing. We could just do it, right? And then we went to the health
The health
department.
department, they're like, no,
Health
because
department,
the
yeah.
blood
it
and
has
the
to be
hairs.
all the way to the top. You can't even have like a little.
It has to be
Yeah.
enclosed, and hair goes everywhere. If you go to a
Yeah,
barbershop,
everywhere.
have to
it
do a
goes
whole
everywhere.
wall,
So
right?
Yeah.
what we realized is like it has to be big, where if even hair goes in through those little cracks, it's gonna eventually land at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's those
But,
hairs.
but little things like that, so it can just be like an experience for somebody
Yeah.
that is about our culture, our approach,
Yeah.
our niche, like tattoos and haircuts. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny that you mentioned coffee shop because we are actually in the process. Well, not process, but we were thinking of opening an all anime coffee shop.
That'd
Damn,
be
that's
amazing.
dope.
We just
Yeah.
gotta find our barista. So, barista, we
Yeah,
need you.
you can find that, no problem. That, you know what I mean?
You
Build
can
it.
do it. Just learn, bro. YouTube. That's why I've been
You-
doing it.
I feel like sometimes I feel like there's so many things I want to do, but I don't have the
The
whole
time.
hands or
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
do it. If
Little
I
by
can
little.
duplicate myself 20 times.
And it's
Yeah.
crazy right now because the way shops are growing right now is. Have you seen the aesthetics that people are going for? Like, we were just looking at Skull Museum, right there in Sacramento. Just opened 10,000
square foot location.
Yeah.
Oh.
And off 30 minutes from Sacramento. Like
So he has
suburbs.
about like I don't want to say the wrong number, but he has a lot of artists, right? And they're all
over
against the
10
wall.
easily.
Against the wall, and he has a glass wall that goes this way and this way. So as soon as you go
What?
in,
That's
you
insane.
see them just working behind the glass.
They have an
wall.
art gallery.
Art
What?
gallery.
Their lounge is probably as big as the shop.
Fuck.
They're just a lounge area because they have skulls there too.
Have you guys heard of Ganga?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he's stepping
Their
it
shop
up.
is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shop is beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't been.
Beautiful.
I haven't been. But
I've been wanting to well, that's the goal in the long run.
Mhm.
Like I said, buy the property and do
Yeah.
it as we want. How we envision
no
really.
restrictions.
No
But
restrictions.
nobody was thinking this 15 years ago,
No.
Nobody was
Yeah.
thinking that. Now we're thinking about warehouses
Yeah.
and I'm thinking of that shoe guy that had he was the first to start this warehouse experience. What's his name? With DC shoes.
Rob Dyrdek?
Rob, he's the one who first started this concept.
Yeah.
Like you live what you work.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that was dope,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now we're even thinking that's a possibility in our niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this.
Yeah, and
you
I
know?
feel like more people would want to come out because it's like, oh my god, it's a warehouse.
It's such an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a little museum. You
Yeah.
know?
create mixers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just like-minded people go on you're not working that day maybe, or you're doing a for-profit type of event.
Well, imagine what could happen. Like again, 10 years. Like right now with Robert Fo opening that big round studio in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that.
No,
Yeah, I've seen it.
I haven't.
Yeah,
It's top of a building. It's a circle.
or the different
Wow.
experience where his brother in Texas, Uptown. I think it's down. I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called. Uptown.
Upside tattoo.
Upside. Yeah, his way of experience is all the clients are laying down on mats,
Yeah.
and then they're tattooing on the floor.
It's all the experience.
So it's
Yeah.
all different, you know, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, and everybody supports your experience. If
Yeah.
you want to do anime coffee, go for it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely want to do bigger things because every year we have this goal where we're like, this year we're gonna do something better. This year we're gonna do this, and we want to be able to do all that.
Yeah.
And just be able
Yeah,
to have a
it's-
good life.
It's crazy now, like how it went from being homeless to like owning my own house and all that stuff. Like having what I have because of tattooing. When did you ever think that tattooing could actually take you to places? And now that the way everything's going, like there's gonna be a lot more people actually willing to get into it because of, and these artists that are artists are gonna destroy it.
I've always said like more entrepreneurs are gonna grow out of this
Oh, yeah.
generation. Then
Yeah.
we're
Than
gonna have less
anything.
and less doctors and stuff. So
This is what I love
that's
about.
what scares me too.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you,
Oh, it's
but
okay.
I think that's what I love about what's going on right now, because me going through school and being an art student, we always got teased. We're like, oh, you're just an art major. You're not going to do shit. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
going to be poor, this and that. But no, like, we're the ones coming on top now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now everybody wants to be a tattoo artist.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the day, like, we were just doing I was doing it to survive. I started tattooing because I needed money to pay for school. And he's the one that
Yeah.
got me into it. It's like, instead of going to work over there, just fucking do this on the side, and you just pay for school that way. You know what I mean?
And now from the side hustle to being a profession
Yeah.
that everybody looks up to.
And makes
And
more than some
make-
professions.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Than doctors and stuff at times.
I say
you know?
that all the time. Like, well, it's actually something that I got from Tom Montoya. He said, I might not be a doctor, but I make that doctor money.
There you go.
And it is what it is now and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's cool to see how it actually became what it is now, like I always tell my my artists and stuff, there's a certain level of price point that you get that the people are willing to pay you that price are gonna be so appreciative about you wanting to get about you tattooing them. They're gonna love the fact that they see you, they want to take pictures with you, they want to just so excited to meet you, kind of thing. And it's so cool because it humbles you. It humbles you to see that, oh my God, I can't believe like you even care that much about even trying to meet me, kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's
that's
so
dope.
cool about it, And we have thought that it would be like that 10 years ago. Like, nah, it's never been,
Yeah, awesome story, man. I love how you added that and you let the audience know that you were homeless, and you had to accept that, and you accept it in your life as part of your growth, and
Yeah.
and that you guys as a couple are creating something dope in the Inland Empire, and that's exactly what we do this podcast, to highlight some young entrepreneurs, young or old, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody that's doing it in this side, because we are we have talent in the IE. We really do. It's just not spoken about a lot, and this is a platform that we thank you guys for coming in, for real.
Thank you for
real.
having
Like,
us.
we've got to have part 2, like an update later,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure we're
Absolutely.
gonna be in contact,
Yeah.
on different stuff, But
You guys are
thank
more
you.
than welcome to come look at the shop to see,
Yeah,
to nerd out or weep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna learn a little bit more about anime, because it's just interesting to me that how it's growing so fast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, well, like I was saying that I was gonna tell you, like, before I did anime and stuff, I had a small following, had like 6,000 followers, and then from me doing my first, well, actually like my third anime piece, it went from 6,000 followers to close to 30 something thousand followers,
Damn.
and now into the 70s. I don't even actually know my number, but like 70 something thousand followers, and it was all because the
Community.
the anime
The anime,
community,
the super niche
yeah,
community, they're
are
hard.
super accepting,
They're hard.
super accepting about it. And I want to shout out the homie Geo Morphin and shit. He's actually the reason I
Oh,
actually,
Geomorphin?
yeah, he's actually the reason that I posted it, because I told him, because he did a Rock Lee piece, an anime piece and stuff, and I messaged him like, bro, man, I wish people would hit me up for more anime tattoos and stuff. And he was like, bro, post that up, see if somebody's down, And I posted it up. My first 10 anime pieces, I did it for $150. $150.
See?
But
That's
from
crazy.
those $150 tattoos, it grew to me being able to be booked out as well the way I
For
am now.
thousands of dollars if you accumulate it. Yeah, and that's what we don't talk about at times, you know. People think that because you did those 10, you were charging a lot,
Yeah.
you know. But sometimes you got to give and do a good
You gotta
price
sacrifice.
so that you can show your work. Or else, I always say, do the offense, play the offense, put out the stuff that you want to get, even if you lower the price. You know, obviously, even if you have to do it for free, but if you're doing it for free too much, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But do it for a price that you feel justified, right? And then in return, you're gonna get a lot of people coming to you for the work that you put out, not waiting to see what's coming from this funnel, what's coming from over here. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel stuck, artists, if you feel stuck just doing the same dove, the same rose, the same, you know, infinity sign, it's because you're not putting out to the world what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I tell people all the time, like, I'm like, where I'm at now, I can just tell somebody I want to do this, and I'll give you a little discount for it. You know, I'll give you a discount. So I don't have to do even free tattoos or discounted tattoos. But I love like giving back to my clients and my followers and stuff because of them, I'm where I'm at. And so I'll do that tattoo giveaway. You know, I'll do that tattoo giveaway, and I'm about to do it now that it's so easy to be verified now on Instagram. I got that verification
Just that blue check.
just for that. Just for that. I always said I just didn't want to have all these scammers scamming the people that actually follow me and actually like support my work. I didn't want that. So they just have to see that blue check and make sure that you only go and deal with that profile, my profile, you know? The only reason I even got it. And I know how the industry works. I've always tried to push myself in front of it, or like right there when like when reels started popping off, I was right there putting my reels, you know, or when a certain music pops off, I put it right there. Like I went viral a few times, and it's because of that is where I'm at right now, you know, and people
You're
see
benefiting.
those. Oh yeah, I'm benefiting all those viral videos, and thank God for those viral videos, because who knows, you know, because that piece that I did on, it was a girl that I actually tattooed, the one that popped off. It was a Vegeta piece that I did on for forearm, and like I said, from that tattoo being posted, that thing got thousands upon thousands about likes, and it got me thousands upon thousands about followers from it, and those followers become
Eventually convert into a client.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it converts into a sale.
Yeah.
It's all business, guys. It's all business, and you got to try it. It's a game. Business is a game at times, you know, but you have to respect the game, you know? And then I always ask people, like, I don't have any tattoos, but I respect the hustle of the tattoo, you know? And I know for the majority of the part, show me a tattoo artist and show me a tattoo and I can tell you the tattoo artist who made it. Because I put in the work to know the culture, to know it. But you know what I'm saying? So all you got to do is do that, you know? But we got to have part 2. You guys have a lot of in-depth information, you know? I think it's one of the longest ones, huh, Carlos? Yeah?
Oh my God, that's insane.
No, it's good because it's all content we're going to cut up, chop it up, and then put it out there. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for telling your story.
Thank you, for
it's
real.
Yeah, we always tell people our story. They're like, what the?
Yeah, people.
Now you guys can tell me it's on YouTube forever.
Yeah, go look
Iconic
at it.
TV. Shut up.
Yeah, I legit tell my story to all my clients. It's
dope,
always cool
No,
to
you don't
like.
have to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
No, like, hey,
You go to
go to
IQ
that
Project.
one. Yeah, go to IQ Project podcast right there. You want to close it out, or you?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening to this awesome, interview with a couple that's just killing it right here in the Inland Empire. Again, we have talent in the Inland Empire, and this is a highlight of that. And we not only did we show the rewards, we showed the grind, and in between, And at the end of the day, they genuine people that are just grinding and doing what they like. So thank you guys, and see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.